see, it's not just me.
Jack, why do you insist on doing this dumb internet shit on TV?
I look and see, it's not just me.
This place is a fucking joke, man. You're a clown. I quit.
So many of us have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. So many of us have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. We call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild.
No. It doesn't make logical sense, but it makes.
Well, yes, of course.
But it makes wrestling booking sense. Of course, this makes no sense. Okay. It makes no sense. However, in pro wrestling booking, which often makes no sense, it would do that. It's about making money. It's not about anything else. Wrestling's always been about making money first and foremost. That's it.
Yes! I look and see, it's not just me.
Last weekend was the greatest weekend in AEW history. This is the greatest week.
I look and see, it's not just me.
Security, my safety, my life was in danger at a wrestling show.
So many of us have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. So many of us have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. We call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild. We call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild. Let me get wild. Yeah.
If you're familiar with how we do things often here on these Wednesdays, it's a lot like one of my favorite movies, Time Cop.
What? Fuck you. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Damn it, God.
Yeah.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday comes again.
毎日
Sunday,
毎
Monday,
日
Tuesday,
日立の
Wednesday,
細長
Thursday, Thursday,
静
Friday,
か
Saturday,
サラサラ
Sunday comes again.
綺麗な空気体には細長が気持ちいいんです日立のビッグフローウェル
So, hairline. I have Paul London imitating Aubrey Edwards. You want to watch that video? You want to watch that? It sounds funny. Like, I don't know. Those words strung together sound hilarious to me. So, let's get into this and see if it'll pop us or something.
I popped us already. We're already popped.
Okay, so here on X, formerly known as Twitter, still known as Twitter to many, we have Paul London imitating Aubrey Edwards, and he's here with James here. I don't know who that is. Renee Dupree, shout him out, and Ace Darling. That's a fucking throwback. Ace Darling. I think he did dark matches for like ECW and WWF back in the day, but never really made it. But shout out all you guys. Shout out Paul London. Here is Paul London imitating Aubrey Edwards. Shout out Cafe du Renee Dupree.
Yeah, she was like, "You don't recognize me, do you?"
Right.
Or something like that. She's like, "I'm only one of the most famous referees in professional wrestling." And he was like, "Oh, I don't really watch WWF anymore. Like, I haven't watched it." She's like, "WWE, please." I wrestle for I'm a referee for AEW. It's the newest shit. If you don't know it, then you need to go check it out.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
And
Oh no!
and
Oh no!
and then he was just like,
Oh
yeah. She was like,
oh my god! London just bodied her, bro.
Well, folks, it's been a night to remember, but right now we are out of time. I'm Nick Diamond.
I'm Stone Cold Steve Austin.
And I'm Johnny Gomez. On behalf of all of us here at Celebrity Deathmatch, good fight, good night.
What do we got? Super Dave, Pro Wrestle Clips. Tony Khan has Camille and Megan Bain sitting at home being paid since 2023 for nothing. Come on now. It's not going to be the pod calling some kettle black on that one. Truth is the truth. Vacker was more over than Monet. Yes. I'm sorry. I'm reading slow. Vacker was more over than Monet and is going to the big times. Absolutely. And I said that. I think I covered that show. In fact, I know we did. And I pointed out, I'm going to go back and listen to my own comments. But I did make a mental note. And I think I did point out that I thought she looked really good because I had never seen her before. And now that you pointed out, I don't want to say she looked better than Mercedes, but I think the expectation was a little higher for Mercedes, obviously. And perhaps Stephanie exceeded hers and perhaps Mercedes didn't. That's my take on it.
Apparently, Maeda would go all over the world, and he would challenge people in circuses. That's where you fought. Dude, he was having MMA fights all over the world. He was famous. This is what Jean-Jacques told me. I think Kano was his master. Apparently, something like they didn't want him to take these fights in these circuses and stuff anymore. So he took a fight in Mexico, and he wore a mask so he wouldn't get busted. And he was the one who started the mask wearing in pro wrestling. Maeda started it.
Was it what they call it?
That's what Jean-Jacques told me.
Libre.
What's happening, guys? Welcome to another eclectic edition of PWT live show. Yeah. Are you guys with me? You guys with me? Chat, you with me? How y'all doing, man? I am your host, the infallible, the frank, the fanatical Phil Marks, and as I watch Big Bang Theory here, we're about to get into a good episode. We're about to get into AEW Grand Slam. So, before we get into that, as we do here on the show, you can see Phil Marks bookmarks, but we're not getting into Phil Marks bookmarks just yet. Nah. We are going to review a couple wrestling shows real lightning quick, toot sweet. And I got a lot of stuff to talk about. The Vince McMahon doc dropped. I know you've all already heard, all about it. You can't scroll Twitter for 1 second without hearing about it. I'll get into all that. And what else do we got to talk about? AEW actually drew a bit of a house, triggered some people in chat right off bat. Oh, come on now, Phil. What are you, an AEW shill now? No, dude, they drew a good house for this Grand Slam. I mean, what is it? We'll talk about it. We'll show the card. We'll preview it. Dynamite's about to start. I don't know what order I'm going to do this in here. But thank you for joining me on this lovely Wednesday evening as everybody files in. To hit that like, hit that subscribe. Please run those likes up. I'm sure there'll be hundreds in here by the time the show's done, and I need to see at least 100 likes put up on the board. That's the free way to support the channel. You can become a member for 99 cents. Throw me a little scratch. What will happen is, check out the Patreon. I got more stuff coming up there. But what else are we talking about here? We got JD versus Sean Ross Sapp, more of that stuff to follow up on, but I think I'm going to save it for Saturday's show because I have a very special guest returning for the Saturday show, so you don't want to miss that. the Saturday before Bad Blood. And so it'll just be a chill out. Probably I'll throw Collision on, but I have a very special, funny guest. You guys will be excited to see us back on the show, and I'll probably be doing more shows with them frequently. And yeah, that'll be on Saturday, and that will be hilarious. And we're going to dive deeper into the JD Sean Ross Sapp stuff. If you haven't yet, youtube.com/@ProWrestleClips, where you're at right now. We dropped a clip, and again, we got the SRS fan base and we got the JD fan base mad at me and Husey just cracking jokes, you know? And Husey's even being like, dude, he's like, I am jealous of these guys type thing. You know, he admits it. So people are mad. It triggers them that we're just having a laugh. And I love that so much. So, yeah, this Saturday, yeah, very special guest once more. We're going to run it back. And if you can put 2 and 2 together, we got more to cover there. But today we got lots of Meltzer. We got the Sickos. We got WWE news. We got some reviews. I'm going to review some wrestling. We have another buddy that you guys were all like, hey, you should have him back on the show. He's back on the show tonight. You guys are going to see in a little bit here when he turns up. And yeah, guys, I'm excited for this one. As you all file in, make sure you run that like up. And what else is in the title? What did I title this one? I do so many. Oh, yeah, and William Regal destroys the Sickos, who were saying things like, thank you for... Well, we'll get into it, okay? He destroys these Sickos. A bunch of wrestlers back him up, and a bunch of people in AEW front office back him up. youtube.com/@ProWrestleTimes is the long-form channel where the replay of this show will air immediately following this show, okay? It will be there. So if you ever lose the live stream and you're like, oh, Phil, why do you members them and only and stuff? You go over to the other channel, okay? And I want to start with the what should we start with? Let's go over the Grand Slam card, okay, chat? And then I'm going to tap in with you guys, and then I'm going to get into the SmackDown Raw, and we can talk about SmackDown, I guess. Have I talked about SmackDown with you guys yet? Yeah, I think on Saturday. So I'll talk about Raw and NXT, and then we'll focus on Grand Slam. But I'm sure the start of it'll just be like an opening matchup, and it'll just be like a long match, so we can kind of talk throughout that, right? So let's take a look at Phil Marks bookmarks. And I see in the chat is Shane McMahon actually signed with AEW. Here's the thing. Shane doesn't need money. Shane, if he's doing any wrestling stuff, it's for legacy, or it's to stick it to Steph and Triple H, if that's a thing. And I theorized, and I'll give myself an X-Files for this. The truth is out there. And again, a clip dropped today as well, myself and Husey talking about how Shane McMahon is probably just a spy. And JBL could be a spy too. I was talking about that somewhere. So I don't know. I don't think he's... if he does show up, are we really going to be shocked? But what will it equate to? You know, I don't know if it'll really equate to anything. And that's, I think, the big house, quote unquote. So we can talk about that. But AEW drew like 7,400 people or something like that. And for this Grand Slam. And if Brian is cleared to wrestle. So they're trying to build it like, you remember at WrestleMania where Brian gets, I think it was with Shane McMahon. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Sorry, you guys refresh my memory. My memory part of me. I think it was Shane, though, where Danielson got hurt at the Mania. Then he had to come back for the tag match or whatever for the hot tag. Can't remember exactly, but either way, if Danielson's cleared to wrestle is still the caveat here to this main event. So starting at the bottom, working our way up. Grand Slam is now on the air. Nigel McGuinness is making his way out. So they're starting it with the world title match because, of course, they have to hotshot book it. Now, I'm sure this arena holds 20,000 and there's only 7,000. but they drew a house for some reason. Did Tony pad the house? I don't know. Did they drop the tickets down to $1 when you walk up like they did for Sting's last match to get 15K? Yeah, that could have totally happened. So people are like, oh, get your fan goggles off. I saw it in the chat, and I love you. Whoever said that, I forget, but I still got love for you. But and thank you for checking me. You got to check me so we stay straight here. But no, it's not fan goggles. It's like, no, for AEW, they drew a good house for 7K. Now, whether it was a $1 ticket, I don't know. I ain't hating on that. If it's going to be Nigel's last ever match, then I don't know. I applaud Tony Khan for giving him something, but it's to open the show, and the crowd is very dark, so the building's obviously not uber filled. And I don't know. It looks pretty full, though, for an AEW show, at least. At least it looks decent. Hopefully the crowd's hot. And, yeah, my pick, I don't know. Obviously, Danielson's going to win because McGuinness is probably going to retire. But it's crazy that Danielson's going to be taken to the limit. But they have been doing a good job of like, well, he's falling apart too, so he'll scrape by everyone. But that's just always what AEW does, is scrape by. Everyone's scraping by because everyone is equal, So that's my pick. I guess we'll work our way down. Darby's world title shot is on the line. So why didn't McGuinness just win that fucking Casino Battle Royal or whatever? I don't get it. Or Casino Gauntlet. So Moxley versus Darby. Who knows? I guess Mox will win. I don't even really care about giving picks for a Dynamite. But we have Hook versus Roderick Strong. Okay. Prince Nana will provide an update on Swerve. Okay. Jack Perry open challenge. Why is there like 15 matches on this card like it's a pay-per-view? I don't get it. The Learning Tree versus the Conglomerate, which is the worst faction ever in human history. Jeff Jarrett versus Hangman Page, Lumberjack strap match. So everyone who's not on this card is going to be paraded out for the Lumberjack match. I'm cool with this match. This one, I'm like, all right. I like Jeff Jarrett. So, come on now, Phil, you sound like Conrad Thompson. But for real, like, this is what they should have did at All Out or All In, right? They should have did Jarrett versus Adam Page. And they're also wondering, too, like, why can't they get Taylor Swift? Bro, you think Jeff Jarrett's making phone calls when he can't even get featured on the card? So Soraya's Rules, which is like, all right. Saraya versus Jamie Hayter. Sweet. This should have been at Wembley, but I guess Hayter wasn't cleared. And then we have three-way Lucha Libre for what? And, like, I don't know. Are these all on the Dynamite Grand Slam, or are some of these for the Collision taping or Rampage after? I don't know. Hologram, Beast Mortis, and Dralistico. Let's be realistic here. And they are playing Final Countdown for Danielson. So that's the card, guys. Joining us now, I'm going to check in with you guys in Super Chats and chats and check out what chat's got going on. Joining us, though, on the show, moderator extraordinaire, Alt Jake is here.
Hey. You guys hear me?
How you doing? Yes. How you doing?
I am great. I'm doing great. Excited to be back. There's a lot to talk about. Holy crap.
Yeah, man. Are you watching Grand Slam or what's up?
Yeah, I threw it on. I put it on in the background. Just
Hell
like
yeah.
Danielson
So we have some super chats here. I got to. Sorry. Here we're gonna save this big one here for in a minute because Jesus Christ, Plinian came through. Rabbit Wolverine LC Killer 17 for $2 says yeet. I need a yeet for the soundboard. We're gonna give you a yell, but yeet on the soundboard possibly during this show. I'll keep you tuned in. Rabbit Wolverine LC Killer 17. Good to see you. Thank you for the $2 super chat. I appreciate you so much. Shaggy Filth 73 is a new member. Hey. So, yes, you can become a member down below for 99 cents. The best way to support the channel. Or just click that like button. That's the free way. 106 of you in here. I'm going to keep bugging you guys until we get 100 likes. Thank you very much. Pete in Texas for $2 says PWT Grand Slam. Yeah, the best guys, Tony Khan. Yeah, dude. I'm actually excited for Danielson's match here. I am a mark. This will be good. Hopefully we don't see Nigel take like head bumps to the pole like he does in Ring of Honor against Danielson for
Holy
shit.
You
what? The best guys, Tony Khan.
Oh my God. Plinian Pixel Art comes through with $200 for AEW Grand Slam. That's crazy, bro. Thank you very much. I told you, George. Phil, wanted to say thanks for everything you do. I'm going to miss most live streams this month. Yay, school. But PWT, along with TT Dub. Yeah, I was on TT Dub last night, and I think Plinian dropped 2 billies as well. You're crazy, bro. Has become one of the greatest sources of joy I've got during a tough year. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, man. This has been a great source of joy for me too. Obviously, I wouldn't keep doing this shit. Thanks for being awesome. You too, dude. You're always here. All hail PWT universe. Yeah. Hail PWT, dude.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. Hail PWT. But listen, thank you very much. Good luck on your. Are you doing calculus still? I don't remember. I know you're doing that before, but yeah, if that's what's coming up, man, we wish you the best and good luck with your school. And thank you so much. And you'll be in our thoughts, I guess, Liddy. And we'll I don't know what to tell you other than fucking we acknowledge you.
Acknowledge me.
That's amazing.
Okay. And yes, people are going to be mad at the hokey sounds, but you earned everyone. Holy shit. Holy shit. Holy shit. I said shit so many times we're demonetized, bro. So thank you for the two notes. Some love to Plinian, please. Damn. Appreciate that so much. StreamYard is acting out for me again, so I apologize, folks.
Oh, I thought maybe it was
I'm
me.
booted. So here we go. Jake, we're back. No, it's me, dude. It's definitely StreamYard. It's so glitchy. Everyone's like, "You Streamlabs." I'm like, "Well, I didn't know there was a different stream one." You know, I thought there's. Anyways, the 1KQ, a member for 2 months. Thank you so much. StreamYard's glitching. We got Chrissy's, who's a new member. Seether. Oh my God, I'm glitching in and out, guys. I'm so sorry. Chris E became a YouTube member. Thank you. Julius Seether's been a member for 3 months, and it won't come up on the screen. Now it will. Thank you so much. The roughest episode ever. Dummies, yeah.
Dummy cast.
So, yeah, dude, dummy cast. Yeah, complete botch cast here. So 1KQ, Chrissy, Julius Seether, you all get a round of applause. Thank you. And then Jonesy, oh my God, Jonesy84 comes through in gifts. 5 guys, brubs. You're lighting me up today. Gifted 5.
I was just going to say, it's nonstop. That's
membership.
awesome.
Dude, it ain't even my birthday yet. That's in a month. Jesus, you guys are crazy. I'm going to give you a Conan. Gifted 5 memberships. Thank you, Jonesy. Always here in the chat. And also, I hope my biggest haters got those or my biggest supporters. You guys already know. Guys, my word. Drum roll. And nope, I guess, for Jonesy. I don't know. I don't know what to give you because I ran through the whole flipping board already. I appreciate you all so much. And Jonesy, that's amazing. Rabbit Wolverine comes through for $2. Vince Doc to me is like I already know. Okay, here. Thank you. That's what I was going to get into next. Thank God you super chatted that in so I could get to it next. Finally, you guys are bombarding me today, and I love it, and thank you. This is keeping me doing the show, more and more shows, which is what I wanted to talk to you guys about. So everybody, immediately, as soon, I swear to God, an hour after the doc was posted anywhere globally, everybody jumped on X and was like, here's the Vince doc. You know what I mean? Here's my thoughts on it. I already finished it, you know?
Yeah,
dude,
I woke up to it. I'm on the West Coast. I was up and it was already, I'm like, all right.
Dude, so everyone's got it clipped. Everybody's given their takes. To steal a line from my buddy Husey, it's like, man, you need a sweater for these takes because everyone's just like, oh, the Stone Cold CTE thing and the whatever thing. Well, you guys know I like to psychoanalyze it. I broke down the very first episode. I watched it today. I paused. I gave my live reactions to it. I compile it into like a 20-minute video that I'm dropping tomorrow. Maybe it'll drop tonight. Maybe members and patrons will get it early, but I'm dropping it. I'm not just going to give these cold dummy takes on this. I know a lot of people are like, oh, I already seen a lot of these. Not calling your take dumb, but I'm psychoanalyzing. Like, this is the first time we ever got Vince to sit down and really talk to us and tell us like anything, man. And I really break it all down as best as I can. And the things I'm like, okay, we know this. You guys know this. So moving along. And I give my reaction beat by beat to the very first episode. I'm going to do it for each episode. One of my videos, reviews, if you'll call it that, will drop each day on the Clips channel, though, for you guys, because I wanted to give it its due, man. Like, this is something that people are going to forget about it in 2 weeks. Every clip, you couldn't even scroll through your feed. It was just Vince talk. And I was like, dude, I'm not, you guys want to give your takes, that's all cool, but I'm going to actually digest it, dissect it. So I did that today. That's what I spent my afternoon doing. And
Nice.
I'm going to drop that tomorrow. And I hope you guys enjoy it, because you guys know I psychoanalyze the shit. I break it down. I give my perspective, and I hope you enjoy it, because I go a little more in depth. I saw Eric Bischoff went an hour and a half today on the first episode. Well, that's longer than the episode itself, sir. So mine's like 20 minutes, cut down. So anyways, though, thank you, LC Killer. And Jake, I want to check in with chat, but first, did you check out the Vince doc at all? Did you binge it out? Like
I haven't got to yet because of work, but that's my plan after this. Because I mean, I'm on the West Coast, so it's only 5 o'clock for me. But yeah, I tried to avoid any actual clips, but I saw a few different people's takes on it for sure. From what I've seen, apparently most people, if you're a mark like us who knows, you're not going to get much new information. But I'm with you. I kind of want to see like people's facial reactions and body language. I interview people for a living, so I'm really big on, I'm pretty good at reading people, I feel like. So I really want to see that. And I know he doesn't talk about it much from what I've heard, but anything about his past, like that time in North Carolina, that's the stuff that none of us really know. That stuff is just, that interests the crap out of me. I want as much of that as I can get.
Yeah, so that's what I focus on too. I'm like,
nice.
Like, think about Vince's mind. Like, Vince is coming from a place where he didn't get this validation, and I know we know that, but I point out certain things. I don't know. I think I give a good breakdown, and I don't linger on the things we already know. And if you're like new to it, or you're like, man, I don't even want to watch it, what's the Cliff Notes? Perfect videos for you.
Yep.
And then I'm going to drop it all as like a one long thing over on the other channel, youtube.com/@prowrestletimes. Anyways, though, that's my take on the Vince doc. I know I put it in the title because, let's face it, don't hate the player, hate the game. I got to get in the algorithm here, but that is my hot take, though. Like, man, you sick sons of bitches in the IWC. We get it. You saw the doc. Can we digest this shit? Everybody had it clipped and posted, and you know what I mean? It was like, Jesus Christ, man. It ain't even been 1 day yet. 6 whole episodes. Could you imagine back in the day growing up, man? 6 episodes of DBZ just ran through. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, does nobody believe in spoilers at all? Like, I mean, you at least can maybe post like, this is gonna be my take, and put it in the comments. You couldn't avoid it. Man. I mean, it is what it is, though.
It is what it is. Yeah, I'm not actually mad.
I wasn't surprised. Yeah, like I woke up, it was like 7:30. I look at my phone, and it was the second thing I saw. Yep, of course. Not surprised.
Everyone thanking Jonesy, Flute Gang, we in the building. Thank you. Brad got one. Good for you, Brad, man. Appreciate you. Shit, already half to 100 likes. Yeah, let's run him up to 100. Brad Becker. I'm just checking in. Vince talk was interesting. Yeah. No, I'm not actually mad though at the IWC. It's everything. Every movie. Like when Deadpool came out, you literally could not go on Instagram. You see every character that that makes an appearance. You're like, oh my God. Conrad and Eric had a boring take. Yeah. I mean, that's expected, right? Like they were in the shits. Like they were there. Well, I mean, not they, but Eric was. And I mean, what's the different perspective going to be? It was interesting. I don't know. I'm doing funny bits and laughing at the Tony Atlas stuff and all of that. I'll just trust me. You guys want my takes on it? You won't get a better one than the videos I'm dropping, because it's like me, like I'm sitting there eating a roast beef sandwich with the mic in my hand, live reacting, and then I just chop it down. So the dead air's gone, so you get my exact breakdown of everything and you'll love it. But anyways, the doc wasn't really that I don't think it's supposed to be shocking. I think it's just supposed to be like, pull the curtain back on Vince, but I don't know. I'm only through the first episode, and it was very, well, I don't want to, whatever. That's a video for tomorrow. So anyways, how is the kitty? How's the kitty doing, Jake? Doing good?
She's doing well. She's got her next appointment Friday morning. That's the 3rd of 5 chemotherapy treatments, but
Oh yeah.
I mean, the biggest thing, I work from home, so unless I'm out, doing deliveries or whatever, I see her all the time, and she's definitely like, you can tell she's feeling a lot better, and she's not going in and out of the litter box like she was, and no blood. Yeah, so I think she's doing well. The vets all love her. One of the vet techs, actually, the last time I brought her, was like, "Oh my gosh, I was so happy when I saw her on the list. I love her." And like, she's like a star. Yeah, right. So,
and that's the good juju too from the PWT universe, man. That's that spirit bomb of love.
Absolutely, man. That was awesome. That was awesome. Yeah, I took the money and put it right into the card that I'm using for her, because I got to make payments for each of the treatments. But no, and like I said, even $5 would have been awesome. Just feeling the love, but anything was fantastic.
Yeah, and I didn't want to just like post it up on the
please do,
because it's just like send it directly to you. We all love you.
I love it. Thank you.
Yeah. So
really appreciate it.
Yeah, no, dude, don't ever mention it. Okay, let's go though. People are saying I can't take Tony Atlas serious after the foot fetish.
I said what I said about him the other day. I'm like, when he is like on it and lucid and ready to go, he's great. But man, when he is not, he is not. Like he can be. Yeah. But I heard that he like put effort into it, and he isn't like completely goofy Tony Atlas, talking about weird stuff and going off on weird tangents. Maybe they edit it better. I know some of the stuff on the dark side, like blooper clips or whatever that they posted on their YouTube, he just kind of goes off on tangents into weird places. Strange.
That's funny, man. So Mark A. Hicks, been a member for, he does, dude. Been a member for 6 months. Thank you so much, Mark A. Hicks, too, with your excellent pick. And Plinian, $5 for Jake's cat. We love her. There you go, dude. So here we go. I'll send you $5. We'll PayPal that over to you, dude. 100%. And Plinian, thank you, dude. You've already done so much, bro. And yes, the kitty, we're glad to hear that she's doing so well, dude. That's what we do. We got to talk about some wrestling. Okay, we got another super chat. Adrian Pfeiffer with Czar 35. It was funny seeing the all-star lineup they had for the interviews at the start, and Davis show, and he looks so out of place. Dude, I know. I laugh about that in the video. Oh my God, man. It was so good to see. And,
the best guys, Tony Khan.
It's literally like John Cena, Linda, Vince, The Rock, Stone Cold, and then just little Dave. And I don't know, man. It's hilarious.
One of these things is not like the other.
Yes, you just picture him like waddling his little legs, and there's like he's in like a semi-organized office with like a bunch of boxes and shit. It's just it's too funny, man. It was such a good introduction. If you're not familiar with the Vince stuff, it's perfect. And you guys got to realize that too. It's not for us. This is like for just people who watch Netflix. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I mean, how many subscribers does Netflix have? It's for them.
It is for them. Yeah, for sure. It's for, people who watch all of these killer, this guy's a monster, or the most hated guy on the internet, or don't fuck with cats. There's like a billion documentaries that take off on Netflix, and I don't know. I'm super pumped it's about Vince, but yeah, obviously they're not going to dive deep into every little thing. Like, what are they going to go deep into the Richard Belzer stuff again? Like, nah, dude, everyone knows about that. Obviously, we all saw
Shea Hogan.
Yeah.
That's what he calls his house in the south of France that they got in the settlement with Hogan and Vince.
Yeah, Shea Hogan, dude. It's hilarious. So we're going to go into, I don't know. We're just going to jump around the Phil Marks bookmarks as we get into stuff. I don't know what I had lingering, man, like a lingerer. What should we look at here first? Jake, let's look at UFC and MMA, because that's the one I think the interest level is the lowest. That's more focused on that. Miscellaneous. Let's see what I got in our misc here. Okay. We have Queen of the Ring. So this movie, I wanted to plug this. They're not paying me or nothing, but I just wanted to do it. Queen of the Ring is executive produced by JR's Barbecue, so Jim Ross, and co-stars Walton Goggins, Gavin Casalegno, Francesca, whatever. Okay, Deborah Ann Wool, who's in like Marvel. She's in True Blood.
Right? Yeah, the True Blood.
Yeah. So Naomi's in it. Trinity Fatu. Timeless Tony Storm's in it, and Camille Brick is in it. Camille Brick. I'm just calling everyone their Twitter handles. That's what it'll be in the future.
Hey, that's what I put for my name here. It's like type your name. Sure, I'll put it in my Twitter handle. Why not?
Yeah, dude, you might as well. So Camille, though, says, so excited for y'all to see this amazing story of Mildred Burke, the first $1 million female athlete, and of course, the prestigious holder of the NWA Women's World Championship. I'm pumped, man. Here's Camille right here. I'm excited to see this. Lots of good actors and actresses in it. And, JR put some money up is what it seemed, right? To get executive produced. What did he do? He threw some money up. That's probably what it was, right? Just a lot of times you guys see those executive producer credits. I'm telling y'all, they just put some money up.
I lived in Hollywood for like 6 years, and that's kind of the thing I learned is if you have executive and you're producing your title, you put up more money, you actually do less on like the day-to-day production. The actual producers do more, but that makes sense for where JR is. I mean, he's collecting Tony's money hanging out in Jacksonville. He's got to spend as well. At least he's put it to good use.
And of course, because this is going to do good. And this is entered into the BIFF 2024 Buffalo International Film Festival. I don't know how I'm going to see it. I got this theater around here that plays like old flicks and will play like the indie flicks and stuff. So me and my girl like to get down there. Hopefully they play it by me, or maybe I'll call them and be like, hey, you guys should play this. I don't know, but make sure you check that out. So Soft Ground Uganda. Now you guys know that Duke loves wrestling. Who's coming on Friday. He came on the show before, broke all the soft ground wrestling stuff. And SGW says they wish to apologize for the ring arrival delays due to some issues, but soon unleashing the newly purchased 20 by 20 foot ring very soon. We are so much concerned about your reviews. Keep calm. We promise to display it ASAP. So basically, they still haven't shown the ring. Yeah, I'm not going to get into it all, but it's just come on now. Duke was on. Obviously, they didn't even show the ring. So I'm going to say he was probably right about everything he was saying. You know what I mean?
I mean, he is yet to be proven wrong, and he calls people's names out and tags them. He's given people every opportunity to prove him wrong, and I've yet to see it happen.
Yes.
That's all you can really say.
1KQ says, brother, selling replica belts for $850 at the AEW show tonight. How much are the WWE ones? One rack? One grando?
I thought they were like 700.
Yeah,
I think it depends on which one.
Yeah, so $850. What a steal! Yeah, this match is the middest shit ever. It's literally exactly what I thought, and I'm not that interested. You guys can tell when Phil Marks is uber interested, because then I start like losing my train of thought super easy, and I'm staring at the TV, and I gotta I'm doing a show. This has been exactly kind of. That's the problem with AEW. It's cookie cutter match every time. You know what Danielson's match is going to look like. Sorry, y'all. Jake, go ahead.
No, I was saying I looked up like 3 times. I was more interested in listening to you talk.
Yeah, well, there you go. So Matt Cardona. Now, I believe he's making a push at returning to the WWE. Chelsea Green's even made it public, like he's destined to come back. Cardona, I think, thinks he's a main eventer. I could see it personally. Cody and him are good friends, and he did pitch to Tony Khan back in the day, like, I want to come in, but I don't want to be Cody's friend. And that's the idea Tony Khan had for him, was like, I want you to just come in and be Cody's friend. So I don't know, man. I could see them doing some sort of rivalry. Also, think about this, guys. You have Cena's last run coming up. Cena and Cardona, like Cena could do the ultimate right thing and put Cardona over like super hard during his last run. I'm not saying do that. Some people might go, blah, Phil, that's trash. But hey, I don't know. Either way, though, he won't pull us for this because he wants this to get. It's got 2.5 million views. He's been hyping it up for days. Danielson tapped out McGinnis, folks, in a lackluster short match. So I don't know, man. They loaded this thing full too. Like you couldn't have given them more time. Crazy. Anyways, though, Matt Cardona deserves his shine. I want to give it to him. This is his comeback video. And he goes, this was supposed to be my comeback from injury video, but it's so much more. This is my life video. The office counted me out. The fans counted me out. I even counted myself out, but I always come back. It's not over until I quit, and I'll never quit. I'm the complete Matt Cardona. And if this is a promo, he cuts and he comes back, because he's been doing all these wonky gimmicks, right? The Indie God and the Deathmatch King and all this stuff. If he comes back to WWE as the complete Matt Cardona, I love it. Come back to WWE, dude. I run with that gimmick
It's a
right
great
there.
video.
Bro, let's play this right here. Amazing.
When is enough enough? When is the boyhood dream over? In this business, the only thing harder than getting over is staying over. Do I have what it takes to start over? They said I was just another guy. Then I became the internet champion.
So, not to interrupt this beautiful masterpiece, but Christian Cage comes out to tease signing the contract, and then Kip Sabian, what's his name? Kip Sabian comes out, steals the dude's pen, runs away like Christian, and then Christian goes backstage, and then Neo Moxley and and Claudio and Pac are standing there, whoever. And then Christian goes face to face with them, and then he just runs away.
The
and
Whitepool Combat Club.
Yeah, dude, this is just hokey trash, old garbage, 24/7 title type WWE stuff.
They tried to ignore me, but the fans wouldn't let them. They thought I was dead. Look out! Only to come back stronger than ever. They said I wasn't tough enough. So I took the death match crown.
I think he's had this planned his whole journey since he left WWE. I think he's like, I'm going to go on a crazy run and then come back with this. I feel like he's always been 10 steps ahead.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Stay over. They said I wasn't a top guy. Then I became a god. Said I had all the tools. Creative has nothing for you. Creative? I am the creator. I am complete. The complete Matt Cardona. Over.
Always me! Here comes
I don't think this means anything other than when's the Royal Rumble?
January.
January?
Yeah, right? That's usually what it is. The last week
September,
of January.
October, November, December. Do you think it's that long, or do you think I'm just sitting here thinking he's got to just show up in WWE soon, right? Even shows him and his wife together. I can't see that not being an act when he shows up.
I mean, I don't see why he wouldn't save it for the Rumble, just because it would pretty much be perfect, unless they come up with something better. Which, I mean, in this creative nowadays, if they give you something really good, they're gonna follow through with it. My only hope is that if he does make his comeback, he does what he did in that first video, where it starts with the O Radio song, but like right after one of the like O Radio, and then it cuts off and goes into his new stuff. Just so you have that moment where the crowd can pop to remember, and then just say like Ryder is dead or whatever. But I don't see how it wouldn't be the Rumble. But if they come up with something better, hell yeah.
Gotta be. Oh, I restarted the video. It's gotta be one of. I was like, what are those sounds? It's gotta be. It could be one of Cody's friends, like for the War Games or something too. But I just feel like we're gonna get Hikaleo, who's apparently. So I got news. Let's go through the miscellaneous here.
All right.
Here's a sweet chin music between two strippers in the wild. So let's just check this out. Oh, I don't want to get pulled by the Fed. Boom! Whoa, dude. Let's bring that back one more time. And then she does like an X-Pac stance, like a Bruce
She
Lee.
got back up though. Good for her. I thought she was down. I thought she did the Chris Rock from Friday. You got knocked the fuck out.
Yeah.
She was down.
And she shoots a double leg. She pulled the Jack Perry. Whitest Rabbit for $5 says that was a snoozer of a match, even with the Neo Moxley jump scare. Yeah, dude. Was that Neo Moxley or was that Neo Claudio, dude? I don't know, but yeah,
You what?
Now we got Hook versus Roddy Strong.
Oh,
and if he comes home and goes, Hook, I'm gonna just maybe turn this off. I don't know. Thank you so much for the super chat.
Remember when people were comparing Hook and Dom? Like, remember when that was an actual comparison people were making? And it was, and at the time, it seemed like, an apt comparison. And look at them now. Hook is the exact same character, if not, reverted. And Dom Dom's the hottest heel in the business and has been for how long? Like, fuck's sake, man. And
So
Hook just
here's
sits there
some here's some randomness I saw that I thought was hilarious. Jake, I'm sure you'll appreciate this, but Mommy, and she just does a wink. She knows exactly how to just thirst trap the internet without even having to do anything. But this grip strength video of Conor McGregor. So here, we'll watch this, and then we'll watch Mommy, and she beat him, dude.
Oh no!
One time?
Yeah. Okay.
One time?
Yeah. Okay.
So he scored a 5.58, and she outdrew him, bro. A bigger draw, better grip strength, dude. A bigger draw with the grip.
Oh Jesus, she killed him.
Yeah, dude, she killed him. Let's see this. 125. Is that for real?
It said 125.8. Jesus.
Jesus, she crushed him. 2-time UFC champion. She has 125. Where he has
hers was pounds and his was
55.8
kilograms.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Okay.
thank goodness.
All
Because I
right.
was like, dude,
That
yeah,
makes more
do some
sense.
Steiner
I didn't
math
believe
and
it the other way. Yeah, I was like, wait, that's too much difference. Yeah, okay. Now that, even though still she beat him by 2 pounds, now that makes sense. That I buy.
So 125.8 though to 123. That's crazy. He's he's a welterweight fighter, but he primarily fought at featherweight 145 and lightweight 155. Champion at both. Fought at 170 pounds. And she is what? What does Rhea Ripley weigh? Should we Google that? Do you Google what women weigh? Is that a thing?
I don't.
Yeah, I know. I don't either, dude. I'm gonna
sure
do it,
people
man.
do.
Yeah, we're gonna do it. Rhea Ripley weight, height, and weight. We won't make. She's 5'7". Or here, we'll look up her height.
I was gonna guess 5'8" was height. I thought you were
height and feet 5'7", and then we'll look up her weight in LBS. And I know that's 137 pounds. So she weighs less than Connor, is the same height or taller. And yeah, there you go, you sickos. There you go, sickos. That wasn't me looking it up. It was you. No. Sorry, these videos keep playing after I this complete botchcast today. Okay, we're just gonna get rid of that. Anyways,
I mean, hey, if you're gonna have a botchcast, botch it during this show that had the most botching match setup ever.
Yeah, during the
Like,
shit no one cares about.
Seriously, like I still just don't understand how they did that shit with Danielson. Like, oh, he can't wrestle, but he can wrestle. What? Jesus.
So
Botchamania.
So breaking NWA Power leaving CW app. All of the episodes are leaving on the same day that NXT debuts. Makes sense. I was listening to Freddie Prinze Jr.'s podcast, showed him out wrestling with Freddie, wrestling with friends with Jeff Dye. And I think his name's Jeff Dye, and he's a good comedian, but he has the worst takes when it comes to wrestling. I can't even, it's worse than Conrad, I feel like. But anyways,
so bad. So
yeah,
bad.
Freddie, though, is amazing. And he was talking about, he knows. So I don't know if he's spilling the beans here, but here's some hot news from your boy Phil Marks. Freddie Prinze was like, dude, I know that there's studios and networks and stuff interested in these other wrestling companies, and he named like GCW, MLW, like NWA, everything, so there you go. Hopefully we start to see other networks and whatnot pick up more and more wrestling. Like if MLW's on TV and not just YouTube, good for them. I'm all for that, dude. I'm a big enough mark to applaud all of that. Like, is there going to be an MLW people going to war like the MLW Sickos versus the TNA, TNA-ophiles? Like, is that going to start happening? Who knows? But is it good for wrestling? Maybe,
I try to record or watch any of it when it's on because MLW has been on Vice like 2 or 3 different times. I've recorded everyone. One of them was Jacob Fatu versus Hammerstone. Was the whole hour episode was that one match. It was amazing. I watched it like 3 times. It's awesome,
dude. They're awesome, and they've both been in WWE. So
right,
just people talking mess, right? Everyone sees it in those guys. But yeah, I don't know who's watching NWA anymore. I mean, shout out Aaron Rex, Aaron Idol, Damian Sandow, Ms. Dow, whatever you want to call him. And then EC3 is cool too. I know people hate on him because of Control Your Narrative. But I don't know. I've always liked his wrestling stuff he does, and he was the OVW champ. And I don't know. Shout them out. But I haven't watched Power in forever, dude. Since the Aldous, Eli Drake, James Storm era.
Yeah, when they were in the studio wrestling on YouTube, I was watching it then because that was fun. That was an old throwback. I like that. Some people hated on it, but I thought it was a good time, especially for what it was. There wasn't anything else like that. And then the pandemic hit and everybody was in a studio.
So, Jake, did you indulge in some WWE Raw this week?
Absolutely.
Okay, so, I mean, guys, we're not going to give this long breakdown here, but we had the Intercontinental Championship match in the main event. We had Zayn versus Kaiser, McIntyre promo. That was announced in advance. Morgan and Dom come out. They cut a great promo, of course, lots of heat on it. And what else are you going to do with these guys? They announced that Dom is going to be, Jake, get this, in a shark cage.
You what?
And
put him behind bars.
Yeah, dude. All these memes are coming to life, and it is funny because it ties into that him being in jail thing from earlier, and it's just funny that they're literally fighting over the custody of Dom basically again, like Ray and Eddie did all these years later. So I pop for that so hard, and it's 2 women fighting over a dude in a shark cage.
It's the next level. It's the next evolution.
It is, man. It is. So
did you catch his little joke in the back, his little homage to R-Truth with his moment with Adam Pearce? So Pearce says that Dominic's gotten involved in every match, and Dom said it wasn't me, it was Tom, for Tom and Nick Mysterio. Right. Yeah, I popped so hard for that. I had to pause my TV. I was roaring. It was such a little throwaway line, but that's such a good little joke.
Yeah, that did pop me.
Man, the little things make such a difference in everything.
Absolutely, dude. I couldn't agree more. One of those little things was that I forgot to mention. It's not Mommy anymore. It's Liv. I got to start because I'm always like Mommy and Dom and Mommy. I got to remember it's not Liv. It's like when you break up with a girl and then you call your next girl that fucking other girl's name, right? So it's Livy. We'll call her Livy, I guess. And Dom pulled up in a Lolo. I can't show it, but they were in a lowrider, dude. Just like Eddie and China. Amazing. Living the gimmick.
I mean, they had to because they were in California, so it just made perfect sense. You had to have the lowrider.
Exactly. We had Sammy and Ludwig, a good match. Ludwig's just showing that he's going to be a big time player down the line. He put Sammy over strong, and then Gunther comes out. He's like, I'm not going to fight you right now or whatever, even though he's in his wrestling gear. Everyone boos. And I don't know, it was good heat. I guess we could, when's Bad Blood? I think we have one more week. So Jake, we'll do I'll get you to preview Bad Blood. Or you're going to be on the Bad Blood watch along with me, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, great. So we're going to do, is everything announced for it? Probably. Let's do a prediction for that.
I think most things are, but there's a few other matches that probably could be on that, but they might not. I don't know though, because they've been doing I feel like they're gonna stick to the 5-match card, especially for this one, because I feel like that Hell in the Cell match is not gonna be a short match.
No,
like, that is gonna take some time, and so is the tag match. Like both those matches are gonna take a chunk of time.
Absolutely, and they announced on the and they announced on this Raw that Reed and Strowman's actually not going to be at Bad Blood. It's going to be at the Go Home Raw as well. So that's crazy. Like, that's coming up this Monday. I cannot wait for that. My word. Anyways, though, yeah, it's going to be so good. We got the New Day, you know, Kofi and Woods, American Alpha are back there, and again, this guy explained. I'll just read his notes, okay? Kingston clings to the past to win his partner over and reinvigorate their team. It was great stuff, and I agree, it was great stuff. It's about time the New Day felt important on the show again, and yeah, they do. They feel like they could threaten at the tag straps, but also that breakup seems to be happening sooner or later. But Kofi's like, nah, dude, I fumbled the play. It's you. You can call the plays. You can do your thing. And I'll just listen to you, basically. We get Carlito and Dragon Lee. Lee pins Carlito. He needs a win. Dragon Lee, I feel like, could be much more than he is right now in WWE. I got to be critical of his booking. I think they need a fucking cruiserweight or junior heavyweight title. I know people hate that, but why not? Why not? Ray and Dragon Lee feuding back and forth with Santos Escobar or whoever, and they just have incredible lucha cruiserweight flip matches. I think they could do that and bring back that, because when they did the cruiserweight classic and all of those things, everybody was all over it. And what did they do? Like, everybody loved it. And what did they do? They fumbled the 205 Live show. That was all bad Vince McMahon booking,
Yeah,
So,
and it's what Vince does too, kind of like when he did. Like they needed to just be a part of the show. If it stays like if SmackDown goes to 3 hours, that could be part of the show.
yes,
and that would be
why
fun.
not?
That would work totally. The problem with Vince was he would go in too much. Came with like ECW. They were fine doing the one night stands once a year, little teases here and there, like a good pay-per-view, but the bringing the show back and then putting it on Sci-Fi was just asinine, but it was too much. That was what 205 Live was. If they'd have just had it as part of it, that works really well. And that's part of wrestling. It's flavor. You need that different flavor on the show. I think that would work very well.
Yeah, and like, don't even move away, because I know they're looking at it like, well, that's what the Speed Championship is, and I get it. Millions of people are watching that; it's getting millions of views. But as far as the TV goes, I just think, because when you have guys who are so big, and then guys who are so, not that like I can't watch Dragon Lee fight anyone and make it believable. Rey Mysterio did it. It can be believable, but to some degree, if you're willing to suspend your disbelief, I guess it can become believable. But all I'm saying is bring back, call it the light heavyweight title again. Don't call it the cruiserweight title. Say, here's the WWE light heavyweight title, and then talk about Dean Malenko and Taka Michinoku and all the guys who held that thing. I know it wasn't a supremely long-lived title, but just do it, bring it back, give it some heritage, and then talk about how it took form in the form of the cruiserweight title and the cruiserweight classic and all that. But up the limits a bit, I guess, with the, don't call it 205-pound weight limit or any, I don't know. You got to do that, and I think you can have some guys really stand out. But anyways,
and the history too, there's there's some future Hall of Famers in that history with like Christian and Matt Hardy had it for a while. And there's got to be some tie-in, like not to tie it in with the UFC, but use that, use whatever they're doing with their division that's under the heavyweight, just kind of to give it more meaning. No, that's a good call. I think that would work.
Basically, it was just a solid match. So Lee pinned Carlito. I don't know. Didn't blow me away or anything. Nothing too memorable. So Miz gets confronted by Karrion Kross backstage, and Karrion Kross, I don't know, he wasn't with his faction. Maybe they're getting him away from his faction. I think they should, honestly. I think they should just get him and Scarlett away from that faction and just let AOP do their own thing with Ellering. That's just my opinion, but
yeah, no, that's a good call. I think is he kind of like doing the old, like, what was this guy, like Sean O'Hare, what he was trying to do with like the devil's advocate and getting in people's head? If he does something like that, but they do it right, that's what I kind of felt like this was, and maybe starting to turn Miz back heel, because Miz can only be a babyface for so long. Let's be real. He's Miz. He's great. We can respect him for what he's done, but he's a natural heel. He's just got such a slappable face.
Yeah, and I'm not saying they should team Miz and Cross up, although that does kind of intrigue me a little bit, but maybe get a feud out of Miz and Cross. against each other where he's trying to turn him evil.
Yeah.
Or just have Miz turn evil and I don't know, against
Yeah,
R-Truth
just feels
again.
like Miz is he's getting fed up, and eventually that's what it's gonna be. Is he's gonna, like, when Truth comes back, he'll like team up, and maybe they'll do well for a little bit, and then something will happen, and he'll just snap. Because that's the easiest way to turn anybody heel. Beat up R-Truth. There's no way anybody's gonna be on your side. You beat up Truth, the entire planet hates you. Everybody loves R-Truth.
Even John Cena showed up for Truth, dude.
Right?
So we have Ospreay and Fletcher versus the Bucks up next. Anyways, the Miz versus Bronson Reed, they built up to and this is why they're going to do Braun Strowman versus Bronson Reed on the Go Home show, guys. I'm dropping facts right here. Sorry if I didn't see this. Whitest Rabbit for $2 says another stinker. At least it was kind of short. Yeah, you're right, dude. We'll give you a price. And thank you for the $2 so much. And I'll also give you and myself an X-Files. And this is why. The reason they're not doing Braun and Bronson on the pay-per-view is because they're going to explode the ring with a superplex between these two guys like they did with Lesnar Big Show and like they did with Mark Henry Big Show. They're going to explode it with Braun and Bronson. Fun. Yeah, they've been teasing that they have to reinforce the ring. They've had all the securities come out, and then they teased this big superplex during this big brawl, and it didn't work. It didn't happen. The crowd was ready for it.
The rope too. So yeah, you're right. They're building.
The next move is the superplex, but they can't do it at the pay-per-view because it's not the main event. So this will take place in the main event of Raw. They'll explode the ring to end the show going into Bad Blood. I almost guarantee it. I cannot wait. Savage Wrestling Podcast for $4.99 says, sorry, I missed the show at work right now.
You what?
No, I appreciate
you. Guys, Tony Khan.
Thank you for being here and even tapping in for a minute. Replay, of course, will be posted over at youtube.com/@prowrestletimes. Shane Slug. And thank you, Savage Wrestling Podcast. We're going to link up sometime soon, too. Yeah. That'll happen for sure. Thank you so much. But I've been enjoying this Bronson Reed, Braun Strowman stuff. My guy, Alt Jake, this one was a bit of a mess with all these dumb securities bumping around like idiots. This wasn't my favorite one, but the tease for the superplex I really loved. However, this was like to follow up the things they did the last 2 weeks or whatever. I don't know if this did a good job of that. Those security, a lot of them were goofy. They weren't selling the moves good. And I wouldn't say it hurt it, but thank God this match is next week and they don't have to think of something else crazy to do again with these guys because they're running out of shit. They got to have this match already.
They kind of hit their mark. Yeah, because everything else has been fun, like the stuff with the car. When they break stuff, it's fun. But yeah, you can tell that those quote unquote security guys are guys like, give me a contract or give me a tryout, which I get. I fully understand. But yeah, some of it looks a little hokey.
A bunch of wannabe Rickies, dude.
Yeah. Especially, oh God, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, you're right. They saw Ricky the 2 nights before, and they're like, "I'm gonna get my shot. I'm gonna sell."
You know who I saw on Twitter? Ricky's wrestling. Him and his partner. I guess he's part of a team, and he's wrestling FTR like on some indie or some shit coming up. Of course,
I mean, good for him, but yeah, it does not surprise me. And
so McIntyre,
I cut some promo about how he's real wrestling, and what they did in WWE wasn't, but Ricky probably got 10 times the paycheck for taking that one stunner. So, is what it is.
So, yeah, exactly. So Drew McIntyre, though, responds to Punk. So Punk cut a great promo last week. Some people didn't like it. I enjoyed it. Drew cuts a great one this week. They're stepping inside a Hell of a Cell. We'll preview the Bad Blood card. What more can we say? This was an amazing promo. And here's the thing. I'm going to steal this from Freddie Prinze a little bit, though. He's talking about how he kind of got the whole thing over with me. Well, I'm not going to steal anything. I'm just going to say I agree with Freddie Prinze's take. I listened to his show today on a long, beautiful walk today. And I really enjoyed his take about like, no, dude, it makes sense for Punk because of everything he's been through with this guy and everything he was through before. And then when he comes into WWE, like at the last place, and then he comes into WWE, the injury, and it's like he's been through everything. Like he just wants to have his return to WWE and wrestle. And this guy's took it to such a level where Punk's like, dude, I don't care. What am I going to do? I've done it. Like, I'm really ready to die in this cage with you. You know what I mean? And I don't know. Freddie Prinze got it over with me. So I don't know, guys. I'm more, I know I was a little like Mish was kind of roasting it a bit. And I was kind of like, yeah, it is a little, intense to go that deep in wrestling. Cause like, if you say I will die, you have to win. So Punk's obviously got to win or else Drew's got to kill him, as Jim Cornette would, you can't promise to die if you're the babyface, or that you will kill someone. Cause if you don't, then you messed up. So I don't know. I think that will be match of the night there. Apparently the dirt sheets are saying they don't know what will be the main event, either the Hell in a Cell or the title match. Who knows? But I'm so looking forward to this. This has been just a grade A feud. And I don't know, just such good storytelling in WWE. As soon as you think they cool off with the bloodline. Yeah, the bloodline's a little... I mean, it did take a little dip, but then you had all of these other things brewing with the Judgment Day, Punk, McIntyre, and now Bloodline's picking up again with Roman and everything. So they're just killing it, man. And Raw's been phenomenal heading into this Netflix era,
Oh yeah, they're firing on all cylinders. And even those times when things were quote unquote down, if you look back on it, like they were planting seeds and setting things up and trying different things out or trying different people out and building them up. And, there's always a plan. Like nothing feels thrown together anymore where you're just like, where you can tell Vince wrote this 10 minutes before the start and people are out there winging it. So, I have faith in it. And I mean, really, this program has been going on with Drew and Punk since Survivor Series last year. Really, if you look at how they let the fan footage go viral of Drew getting all pissy. So, I mean, that's amazing. They've let it go. And they've had 2 matches in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, man. And speaking of thrown together, we have the Young Bucks out here, and they're about to take on Fletcher and Ospreay. And Fletcher is a cosplay Ospreay. So
and like
that is Fletcher's new name.
Aside from the that's a good one. I like that. Kyle
cosplay, yeah.
Will cosplay. That's good. But aside from like the drone up above shots where they're shooting it from the angle where you can't see the actual seats, like you wouldn't be able to tell this was Arthur Ashe anymore. Like that's just sad. You know what I mean? Like before, at least with at least they could sell out a portion of it, but like this just looks like any other half-empty arena.
How many does this hold? Like 20K, and then they sold like what, 7K?
Yeah, I don't even know what it was. I know like as of like last week it was 5, but I know they get a pretty good walk up there because it is New York and a lot of people kind of do that there. But I mean, at best they probably would have sold 7 to 8. I can check on what WrestleTix.
That's amazing if they did do that. Like, why? Why did they sell so much? Do you think Tony Khan lowered the tickets to like $1? We got to scour Twitter.
Or did he just buy them up himself and start papering places again? Like,
but why would he do that? Plenty and Pixel Art for $5 says Punk tweeted out Seymour from Futurama being sad and said it'll be Larry after Hell in a Cell. Plenty and meant Drew post. Drew tweeted out Seymour from Futurama being sad and said it'll be Larry after Hell. Oh,
you what?
Dude. He's gonna dude, I can't even say that on YouTube. He's gonna delete Punk's dog, bro. Yeah, there's no way he's winning. There's no way Drew wins at this Hell in a Cell, bro. After all this, no way in hell. Oh my God, Plenty, and that is crazy. Someone tag me in that. I'm sure you have, and I'll pull it up.
8,200 tickets distributed, just about
8,082, man. Awesome for them. Why? How did that happen?
I don't know. It says 730 since their last update. So I mean, I don't know what they did, but last I saw it was like 5. So good for them, but still,
yeah.
I mean, like it's not great when they used to do 20,000 at it before.
For $2, Plenty and meant that Drew posted. Thank you, George Capture, for that. I appreciate you checking in the change. And I'll give you, this is great. And thanks for clearing that up. But yes, the Drew post, I will find that. Here, if I look at my notifications, George Captor already tagged me in. What a stud.
Man,
so I'm going to add that to my I am going to add that to my, I guess we'll just go WWE news folder. There we go. Okay, guys. So moving along, Damage Control versus Unholy Union. I'm glad we're seeing more and more of Unholy Union. This Damage Control pairing of Io Sky and Kairi Sane is way doper than Asuka and Kairi Sane, in my opinion. It's a way better pairing.
Yeah,
So,
no, they're so believable.
So I don't know, solid match, but Belair and Cargill were the same confident champions they've always been, but the fans' reaction to Sane and Sky were overwhelmingly positive, which begs the question, would the crown turn on the champions and root for their prospective challengers? Yes, they will. More importantly, which team works babyface? I think some sort of turn is coming because both teams are like baby faces. I don't get it. WWE typically doesn't do that either way. Tomato, tomato. So
the crowd just kind of makes that call, wasn't it? Where was it where Io was getting chatted over? Was it over Bianca?
Yeah, dude, it was her and Kyrie are super over right now, bro.
Yeah,
like Io over Bianca. Yeah,
yeah.
dude,
There was somewhere when she was getting cheered like really heavy, even if she was supposed to be the heel, because so just like it can happen.
Guys, let's run those likes up to 100, please. We're at 74. There's 176 of you watching, so there should be 100 likes. Then I'll stop asking. Thank you all so much for tuning in tonight, and appreciate you all so much. We're going to talk about NXT quickly as well, because Punk was on it, so we have to talk about it. Then we'll get into more Phil Marks bookmarks. The New Day versus American Made. So the story continues. There's a through line throughout the show. American Made defeats the New Day in a match that went a smidge too long, but they got the point over. Like, we kind of had to grease them out, but we hit the Brutus ball and get the win, whatever. Chad Gable was interjected in the match, as you see here. But New Day was whooping that ass for a good chunk of it, though. So it was pretty good. Like, they still look strong as a unit, obviously. But
and probably would have won if Woods didn't attack Gable. So they told that story in the ring too, with it, which was good.
Right. So Woods attacked Gable, and that sort of caused a distraction, which made them not win the match. And I don't know. I'm like, dude, ref, you're going to call a DQ, though, too? Because when there's too much shenanigans, I'm like, come on now. Because the other week, didn't we see like a DQ and a guy broke up a pin or whatever on SmackDown? So it's like you gotta call a DQ, and there's if people are touching each other and shit. I don't know. You can't be throwing Gable over the ropes and then he's in the ring. Like, there's got to be a DQ or something. You know, the ref interjecting that or something. Whatever. I'm being too old school, I guess. But yeah, it's just a great work.
I always feel that way with that. I'd rather, because otherwise, then you start to get to AEW where they can be holding a chair. The guy's in the ring holding a chair and they're just pointing at him. Like, come on.
Or the ref counts to 5.
Yeah.
And then the tag teams are still doing moves, and then he just stops counting. And it's like, well, what's going on? Why were you counting? So
just showing you that I can do it.
So there's a package for Priest and Balor. Amazing work from Priest. Amazing work from Balor. I can't wait for that match too. So much bad blood going into Bad Blood. They've done such a good job of marketing. Like, there's going to be a lot of hot feuds, you know? Then we get into the
pay-per-view is going to be where it is.
Yeah, no, exactly. So then we get into the IC title match. Jey Uso versus Braun Breaker. Yeet in the chat, man. We've been Team Jey. I need to get one of those Jey shirts. I love that he's wearing like PWT colors. Yeah, which are just like 80s colors, you know? Yeah, 80s Miami colors. I love it so much. This match genuinely had me on the edge of my seat. I was tweeting it out, freaking out. I didn't know who's going to win. I thought Braun was clearly going to win.
Same here. I didn't think Jey had a chance.
Dude, that entrance from Jey, though, you just see everyone's going crazy. He's so over. Rikishi's talking all that mess on socials, you know what I mean? And on podcasts and shit. And, and then he was tweeting praises after this because this match, I can't go over spot for spot. It was phenomenal. There was spears through barricades. I thought Breaker had it. They did false finishes in the way you're supposed to do false finishes. Like, I thought Breaker had it won at moments. I thought Jey had it won at moments. Jey ultimately wins. I'm jumping up and down. People are getting emotional. You have the whole crowd's going nuts. He's getting emotional. They cut off air really quickly, too. Like, they were pressed for time, man. They were going home quick. But you couldn't tell in the match, though. You could just tell afterwards because Jey just sprinted out to the crowd, and then they just went off the air. So it was like,
and all that stuff made it online anyway. Like, I was able to see it right afterwards pretty much. So, which is awesome. That video of him in the crowd with Jackie Redmond. I mean, if that doesn't hit you in the field, you don't have a soul, man. That was like, that showed like the years of work that the man's put in his career and who he is. Like that, like if you can't respect and appreciate that, I got nothing for you. Like that was so cool to see. Just so cool to see.
And so Jonesy 84 for $10. Oh my goodness, let's give her an air horn here. Yeet, yeet. I'm getting yeet on the soundboard for next show, guys. Hubby laughed at me because I screamed in frustration at that 2.9 pin. Dog, I thought he lost. I was like, whoa, like I thought it was it. That kick out too. Man,
that was such a good kick out.
So good. Like I thought it was over. Boom, kick out. I was so sure they weren't giving him that belt. Me too. And then
I thought they were going to count them out when they went through the barricade. I thought that was going to be the way out. Like he was going to kick out of that. And then they were just going to count them both out there, a double count out. And that was going to be the end of it. And like, oh man, he came so close.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I thought for sure he didn't. That was when I was like, up, it's over. And then when they went back in, it was like, well, wait a minute now.
Yes. And it wasn't too much either. Like they, yeah,
he
it
brought
was
him in and it was like
right
spear,
amount.
splash, but yeah, no, it was perfect.
It was a Raw main event that like I'll probably legit never forget. Like that to me will always stand out as one of the top IC title belts. But anyways, and I almost cried like the mark that I am. Hit the yeet, hit the like button. Yes, yeet that yeeter on YouTube for Jonesy 84, please. Hit that yeet.
Yeetsy 84. Yeah, no, that was awesome. That was
and Andre Adams for $2 because this guy's wearing pearls in his hair. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Dude, I know. I didn't know if it was popcorn kernel or if Tony Khan had a fit in the back or what was going on before this. Tony Khan spilled something in the back before, Young Buck. I don't know what happened, but all I know is, yeah, he's got legit like pearls laced in his hair or something. Bro. It's crazy. In this match again, it's just I don't understand it. I don't understand.
I legitimately thought it was over earlier. I thought it was over and stopped watching. Look back, I'm like, they're still going. Oh,
yeah,
God.
And the Bucks stole that indie guy's move that Will Ospreay tagged the Bucks in a thing, and we're like, sign this, bruv. And it was like a kid on like an indie in front of nobody doing this super shitty bounce off the rope powerbomb move, and the Bucks did it in this match. Like stole this indie kid's move instead of signing him. So again, screw those guys. But anyways, though, yeah. So this Raw was just phenomenal. I don't know. I give it 10 Dave Meltzer stars. Oh yeah, and then this vignette was shown, and we're actually going to talk about it because we discovered. I figured it out who the fuck it was right away. Well, I called it right away. My first prediction was right, at least in my opinion. So maybe I'm wrong. But Jay, quickly though, what do you think about it? Got some people mad. Some people were like, man, it was so dumb giving the belt to Jay. Other people are like, nah, Braun's young. He's a rookie. He can lose the belt.
Fine.
What do you think, man? Like, give your opinion on like Jay. Should he have won that belt? Was that the right move?
I think it was mostly because I mean, first off, for the crowd reaction and where he's been building to it with his career. And they kept saying like this was like the 7th time he was going for it. Like it does come to a point where you just label it as the guy who can't win the big one. And with Braun, I think they're doing more of like he's this will help because he's been going overconfident maybe, or this can kind of turn him to maybe a little bit more sympathetic and turn him babyface because they've been trying to make him heel, but the dogs are barking, man. They are. But, it's funny. I didn't think going in they were going to give it to Jay, and I thought it was going to be what had him go back to the bloodline, which would have been fine and worked out. But now I'm wondering if maybe he doesn't, go back to the bloodline with it. Maybe they figure something else out with them, and
Well, think about it. Roman's desperate. He's going to need his family, whereas before, think about it, he acted like he didn't need his family.
Yeah.
Roman had a belt. Now Jay's got a belt. It's Jay has everything to lose. Before Roman had everything to lose, Jay had nothing to lose. Because his family always had him.
George just nailed it. George with right there, and he's put in the chat. He says Jay is so over right now. You have to cash in. That's how I felt like, especially like after it happened, because it's very rare for me to feel like what I was feeling there for it with genuine. Like I was just so happy for the guy, just like as a person, and like I'm a fan, obviously, but it's very rare that like you actually care about is it Josh or Jonathan? I always forget what the real name is. There's too many J's in there, but whatever
Yeah,
it
but it's
is,
just Jay and
I
Jimmy.
felt
Yeah.
for him. Yeah, exactly. I felt for Jay. Like I was like, yeah. Especially with, 14 years just in the WWE. Think of the years before that, and then with them and their father. I mean, it's been his whole life has been being a part of this business, and this is the first, singles title he's ever won. Like, yeah, that's awesome. I couldn't have been happier for the guy, and yeah, I felt like it was the right moment, especially too with their storytelling. I don't feel like it's a Vince move where it's like they decided to pull the trigger, right before they went out there, and they don't know what they're going to do moving forward. Like they'll be fine. They've got it figured out.
Yeah, they've got a plan. I think it ties into like what I was saying there too about Jay now having a title. Like, because Roman's going to need help, man. That's what I think Hikuleo signed for. Yep. Anthony Strano for $2 says Meltzer's got a flute in his pants for this.
Guy is Tony Khan.
It's like one of those little, like the really tiny ones, the piccolos.
Yeah, one of those wazoos or whatever they're called.
A kazoo. He's got a kazoo.
Kazoos. A wazoo. What the fuck's a wazoo? Kazoo. A kazoo in his wazoo. That's what he's got. Oh my goodness.
I mean, that's what's in his brain. When you listen to him talk, that's what's in his brain. Good Lord.
So we're gonna get to WWE NXT results quickly. We're gonna fly through these because NXT was awesome as well, but Punk was hosting, so we got to talk about it. So Julia Gulia comes out in the finale. Basically, man, a bunch of stuff happens. We get moments with Ethan Page and Punk where Ethan's like, I've been where you've been and blah, blah, blah. I'm a champion now. Keep your shit away from me kind of thing. And then you had Trick Williams get good advice and get put over by Punk. They brawled it up. There was matches, Renkowski versus Kalani Jordan. Ren Sinclair, pardon me. She was Maddie Renkowski in AEW. Yeah. And on the indies, I've been putting her over. She's amazing. And they had a great match. Axiom, Fraxium, as they're called, are doing their thing. Is No Mercy the same weekend as Bad Blood?
I don't. No, they already had No Mercy.
No Mercy just happened. Okay, yeah. So there's no NXT PLE with this one. Good.
I don't think so. No.
Okay. So
no, they're because everything for them is the move to CW with the two shows, the Chicago show and then the St. Louis show. That's everything they're promoting. So
these Hank and Tank guys who have been getting over kind of with their promos, fun. They are like the new. What do you compare them to? They're like the Rocco Rock and Johnny Grunge. They're like what were those guys called again? Sorry, the Public Enemy. They're like the new Public Enemy sort of, and they're called Hank and Tank, and I love that. And they beat the Good Brothers, Gallows and Anderson, which was amazing. It was a good match.
And it was a great match.
And this guy rated it a D plus. Oh, this guy rated it a D plus, bro.
Meltzer disciple. You could tell the Good Brothers were walking them through a lot of it, but that's what they're supposed to do. That's the whole point. Like, that's the point of being, seasoned veterans in it. No, I thought it was a great match. That's what I like about NXT. You can legitimately watch people grow. Like you're saying with, Ren Sinclair, Maddie Renkowski, like you can see how much better she gets week after week after week. Like not only in the matches, but she's more comfortable in the promos. Like you can see the work being put in. That's what I, enjoy watching with it for sure.
And a buck kicked out of a Meltzer driver.
Oh, of course.
Yes. So, or no, it's actually called a Tony Khan driver. So Lexus King versus Oro Mensah, and Lexus King, man, the dude's over right like Rover, but Mensah pinned him, and King's gonna have his day one time, being like a super over babyface. But for now, him just being this shithead heel who's able to do jobs and stuff. I like him in that role. Hopefully, he can get out of NXT though. One day, he's not ready for it yet, but one day, hopefully, he just doesn't get like relegated there. Anyways, though, we also had we had Ridge Holland win. He's did this whole thing where he joined Chase U, then he beats up Chase U, and he's doing his thing. Wendy Chu and Rosemary took on Carmen Petrovich and Brinley Reese. And dude, seeing Rosemary in NXT, I love that. I tweeted out, it makes my heart warm. I just love seeing it happen to see her there. They had an A-Town Down Under, and they had a Waller effect. Was it last week or this week? I don't remember. But they had A-Town. Yeah, so A-Town Down Under took on Javon Evans and Cedric Alexander, who are a team now. And Evans is taking on Orton in St. Louis. because that fucking RKO about to be crazy.
No, that's going to be the craziest RKO anybody's seen since the Evan Bourne one. It's going to be something like that.
Waller and your boy Theory get a win. We have stuff backstage. Punk comes out for the Julia Roxanne stuff. There's a press conference, or I don't know if Punk's out there. Pardon me, but does he go out there for it?
Did he come out at the? I think he came out at the end.
I can't remember, but Funaki comes out. That's all I know.
No, he didn't. He was out with he's out in the middle with Paige and Frazier because the ending was the Titantron.
Right. Sorry. Yeah. So, but we had Funaki come out. He's translating for Julia, which is amazing, dude. And then Julia's talking her shit. It has a big fight feel. You got Roxanne Perez there. And then on the Titantron, as the show goes off the air, Stephanie Vaquer comes on screen and says, like, look, I'll be waiting for whoever. Yeah. Like, I'll be waiting for your title match or whatever. This guy rated it a D-. This is a fucking WWE NXT hate for sure. But it popped me hard, and the women's division, man, we're going to get Julia versus Vaquer seemingly like right away, dude. Unless Roxanne pulls out the win and then we get a triple threat or something. I don't know, but
that's kind of what I'm thinking now is that the match on the CW will end in some sort of schmoz or some sort of fuck finish or something. And then that'll be, have it as a triple threat. I was not expecting that. I was expecting Vaquer to show up after the match in Chicago, like in person, but that was kind of cool how they did that this way.
I bet she'll do that
to make
too,
it
though.
Different. Oh yeah, no, I think she'll be there too, but it was just cool to have her come up on the screen where she did, to have it kind of be that way so that going into the match, they can kind of promote that already, and she'll probably be in the crowd or whatever. Yeah, and they had to be a little bit different because otherwise it'd be the exact same debut as what Julia did, where she showed up like at the end of a match and stuff. And they're always keeping on their toes, even though it's always something different, which I appreciate. Because
you're right,
AEW's not. AEW's literally cookie cutter. You're just plug and play whoever you want to. It's the same thing. Move porn, kick out. Move, kick out. Okay,
exactly. No, dude, you're right. What is I don't know what the Bad Blood card is though so far, but I'll talk about it on a different show. Like I'll pull it up and actually do a breakdown because this Raw they might announce some new matches, so I'll do it on the next PWT.
Yeah, because there's 2 SmackDowns and a Raw before it. Because I know they've at least announced 4 matches. You got the Hell in the Cell match, the tag match, the women's title, and then Finn and Priest. Those are all 4 booked as far as I know. The women's title
what
would live in Rio.
This was a terrible tag title match too, guys. That was just awful.
Oh yeah, it just kept going. It wouldn't end.
A video drops. So this is what we were talking about before. Larry's in the ring here, Larry the dog, and he was also in the booking chair. He was also booking the show.
It's a perfect song too. That's great.
Oh, they're gonna love me playing that music on YouTube. But yeah, so there's Larry the dog doing.
Come on,
thing.
Ramones, be cool. You're the Ramones. If you can't, if the Ramones Don Stevens you, that is so not Punk. That's like the answer. Come on, Ramones, be better.
And then Drew McIntyre posts this: Larry after Bad Blood.
Yeah, where the dog's waiting for Fry forever. This is a really good response from Drew. Like if he's gonna that's
hilarious.
Yeah. They need with the end of year wrestling awards. There needs to be a social media award, and you can call it the Drew McIntyre Award because there's nobody that's better. Like he is just owning social media.
So somebody posted this. Welp, it appears CM Punk has ran the Elite out of Hot Topic. A bunch of AEW fans got mad and were like, oh, they're still in Hot Topic. But yeah, WWE and then all the AEW sickos. I should have put this in the sickos, but they were roasting these shirts. Like, who would wear this generic shit? But that Punk shirt's fly, obviously. But yeah, I don't know. Punk is in the Hot Topics now alongside the Buckaroos, if the Bucks are still in them. What do you think of that?
I mean, are the Bucks in that clearance bin in the back over there? I mean, it doesn't surprise me. I mean, WWE is super hot. I mean, you see, I was just about to say. I mean, Rollins was at the NFL, and I saw that clip on Fox before I saw, or on CBS, whatever NFL game I was watching. I saw that they cut to that before I saw it on Twitter.
So here we go. Let's watch it because you brought it up, and here is Seth Rollins at the Colts game. This was right.
Yeah, that was at the Colts game. Yep.
And people thought this was real and shit. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah, look
He's
at the
sitting there with McAfee.
Yeah, and the guy's got the biggest smile on his face. Oh, I didn't even notice McAfee was there. It is McAfee. That's great.
Dude. And he's just selling here, like he's doing.
And the guys in the back,
like,
the guys in the back on their phone with smiles on their face. Yeah, it was just
And Rollins is like, "What? I'm being ejected." Like that's his whole. You know,
he oversells it. It's fun. Yeah, and that guy was a former Colts player. The guy who threw Rollins out. Yeah, I'm sure Rollins just went back to that suite and just didn't make it out to where he could be seen by the general crowd.
Hikuleo has been added internally to the WWE NXT roster. And that's via PW Insider. Now they are very good at their reporting. Of all the sheets, they're probably one of the ones you can trust.
Oh yeah, Mike Johnson has actual integrity. He's an actual journalist.
But I'm gonna say this. I've said it. I said it a long time ago. I've been wrong about Bloodline stuff before. They've swerved me as Nana makes his entrance before. But here's what I think. Solo Sikoa is the Usos' little big brother, okay? Or he's their big little brother, pardon me. He's their little brother, but he's like bigger than them, right? And
right.
He's a heater. Okay. You have Hikuleo, who is the Tongans, Tama Tonga and Tongaloa. He's their big little brother. So who is Hikuleo coming in for? What is he going to do in NXT? Have a run at the belt with Trick? Like, what is he going to do? Him and Ethan Page? No, dude. You bring him in, and Roman brings him in as like, oh, yeah, I got the Usos, but I got your guys' baby brother. Or the Usos bring him in. Let's say, like Jimmy comes back and goes, yo, I didn't come alone, Us, you know? And then he fucking has, and then it's not even Jay. It's like after Jimmy and Jay link up, and Jimmy's like, yeah, like I still didn't come alone, whatever. It's Hikuleo, because that is the Tongans' little, like big little brother, you know, because he's like 6'10", and he's probably just getting in rank shape right now. He just disappeared, got signed from WWE. He's probably going to be super swole, you know, like Tama is and everything when he comes in. So,
or like Fatu was when he showed up. He was, I mean, he's been been in better shape. Do you see what's going on the TV though? I'll give you credit for what's going on there.
So, well,
MVP.
yeah. Pardon me?
MVP debuting on AEW right now.
Okay, yeah, I think you're like 10 seconds ahead of me or something.
Oh no, he's been out there for a minute or so. It's been in the chat.
Okay, I'm like a couple minutes behind then, I guess, because Nana's still just talking. It's all good.
Oh yeah, no, all good.
Oh no, MVP's out here. Yeah, okay.
Out there with his cane.
Jeepers,
yeah. What he's saying. I've got to unmute. I just see him out there. Yeah, he's been talking for a while.
So guys, we're gonna lock in and hear what MVP has to say here. Shout out Hikuleo.
That is, you've got a good point there. I could see that, especially if maybe Jay doesn't go over, because then you could have, you know, Cody, Roman, Hikuleo, Jimmy versus
and then think about the bloodline. You have Roman, the Usos, and Hikuleo versus Solo, Jacob, and the Tongans. I'm listening to MVP here, though, guys. I'm gonna lock in. I'm a minute, I think, behind everyone in the chat. I'm like 1 minute, I think, but I'm not gonna look at chat. So sorry if I miss anything. But I actually am popping for MVP. But what the hell are they gonna do? Like align with Swerve? Is Shelton and Bobby gonna come out and align with Swerve? Because that's what I said on PWT. I was like,
yes.
I was like, dude, put them with Swerve, and that's a real like unit. Like what? I was like, what could Swerve do? Pull out like the Hurt Syndicate or whatever they're going to be called, and just like run with them. That'd be cool. And I know people might boo on that, but unless they beat the shit out of Nana here, I'm a minute behind, chat. No spoilers, Jake.
I won't say anything. Nope, I won't say anything. But I could see that though with how, yeah. Here's the thing though too, if they do team all of them up, the people that get all vocal about how Triple H puts all the people of color together and all the Hispanic people together. And if they don't complain about the Hurt Business joining up with Swerve, there's more of that hypocritical BS they pull.
Yeah, they will absolutely
They'll
do
actually
that.
say nothing. They'll go completely silent. They'll be 100% radio silent.
Which is why I don't preach dumb shit like that.
Exactly.
You have to keep the same energy everywhere. And I don't. And
Exactly.
even
And it's
MVP came out and said, "Yo, Triple H, I don't think he's racialist.
No.
That is what." And yes, I know racialist isn't real. That's from the movie Ali G or the show Ali G.
Yeah,
Sacha
I know.
Baron Cohen.
Oh, I was a big Ali G fan. I liked Ali G more than Borat.
Oh, me too, of course. Oh, dude,
Yeah.
Juan Guan, man, Ali G is the best.
Yeah,
But yeah, he calls it racialist, so that's why I say it. But yeah, he even said that Triple H wasn't none of that. I don't know what happens though. So MVP's trying to poach Swerve. Maybe we get like MVP, Benjamin and Lashley versus Nana Swerve and someone. I always said too, stick Swerve with Harley Cameron because she can sing and rap, and fucking Nana and Will Hobbs, and make them a crew of like, I don't know. They're like it's kind of like a Hit Row knockoff, I guess, but just do that. You know what I mean? Just do it though. Like that would work for Swerve. And instead of putting Hobbs with like Callis and getting him hurt and all this shit, I don't know. But dude, I'm pumped for MVP. He's getting a bag. Hopefully he makes a difference, but I think it's too little too late. We already know. I've said it before. If John Cena shows up, ain't nothing going to change as long as Tony's in charge of the creative, but they are going more sports entertainment-y. They say they want to compete with WWE. Tony Khan said it himself. So the sickos better get in fucking line and start listening to your boy Phil Marks, because I've been saying it from day one, man. Listen, Tony's vocation doesn't align with what you guys think AEW is going to be, and he's going to have to reel it in. I think he's trying with this show a little bit. We're seeing more sports entertainment-y storyness, goofiness, which he's bad at doing everything. He's bad at booking wrestling. He's bad at doing sports entertainment, goofy silliness, especially watching this Vince doc. I'm looking at old shit and I'm like, dude, Tony is so bad at what he's doing. You know what I mean? And I hate to bury the brother so much, but anyways,
I mean,
MVP,
he buried himself with that whole thing with that Alvarez. Just that we said, there's no more long-term booking. We're only booking week to week. Like that's like that's the downfall of everything in wrestling. Like you cannot be successful booking week to week. If there's one thing that's been proven by the Death of WCW documentary, like you can't.
And I see these sickos go. They're like, dude, who would you bring in? Like, how do you bring someone in to like what Tony Khan should give up creative and give it to who? Bro, you have people right there. Look, MVP's in the company now. You're going to tell me he's not a good mind for this shit? Come on now, man. You have it right there, So hopefully he starts listening to people.
There's enough people backstage. And then, I mean, I had it when he had JR and Arn Anderson. It was like you have, and then when Regal came in too. I know Regal wasn't brought in to do any of that, but yes. And
you're
like, yes,
crazy.
He's better as a booker. Yeah, no, there's so much there. And then you hear from people where the people that are there and they talk about what they've done, or like with Mark Henry, what he's talked about now after leaving, where it's like they want to help and people either don't let them or don't want their help. It's, you got to get Tony's ear because nobody else makes the decisions. And yeah, he's until he's not in charge, you're not going to have no chance.
Guys,
no chance.
Shame on you. Run those likes up. Shame for shame, like Tony Khan. Get those likes up for Jake's Kitty, for your boy Phil Marks. We're trying to run up these likes, man. It is 82 likes. We are trying to get to 100 likes for MVP and AEW, guys. Come on. There's 190 of you guys watching this, 84, whatever. We have 82 likes. Run them up to 100. I'll stop asking. Love you guys. Listen, here's the thing. If AEW's smart, I don't think Swerve's here tonight, which is what typical AEW. A guy debuts, he talks some shit, he goes away, then we just see him in a match or do something dumb next week. Here's the thing. If they were smart, MVP, that shit would have opened the show because it had to do with your world champion. Right? Sorry, Swerve's not the world champion. Yeah, so they opened it with the world title match. No, that should have been the main event, was Danielson fucking Nigel. My word. I can't believe that boring-ass match happened already. So what should have happened, though, you open the show with it, you have MVP come out, and then throughout the show, he interacts a couple times, or at the end of the show something happens, or something like that. But instead they just couldn't wait to get him on TV to just swear and get blanked out on TV, and then
they could have had him like interact with the viewer people. They probably could have had, because I know like there was teases of Ricochet joining the Hurt Business, so they probably could have. And I mean, it would have been a cool little thing to have them have a little moment or a conversation or something. You could have that be. But there's another thing that Tony doesn't do is like the running theme throughout the show. That would have been a perfect like running theme to have something going on throughout the show to go back to and work off of. But he just dream match. Get out there and kick out. Have 87 everybody hit your finisher 14 times and kick out every.
Is this a short bus promo of short bus vignette where Perry's driving his short bus down to Arkham Asylum, or what? Regina Sharp for $5 says, you might say so, long as Khan is in charge. They have no chance in hell. You got
well played.
No chance.
Well played, Regina. Well played.
No chance in hell. You got no chance. Awesome. I love that. Thank you so much. Round of applause for you and the super chat. And whatever that, like, what is that Illuminati shit in your profile pic? Where, dude?
It's too bad Jack Perry didn't drive that short bus off that bridge.
Oh no! Don't say stuff like that, Jake. That's not good. We got Yuka Sakazaki coming out here, smiling, doing her gimmick. And if this was in WWE, people would shit all over Yuka Sakazaki, but because it's an AEW, they're like, no, she's great. She's portraying like an anime character.
Yeah, right. And it's not racist if AEW does it, right? I mean, that's.
And I'm not even saying this is racist. Like, I don't get triggered in the first place.
No,
when people go like, oh man, it's just like a racist, whatever. Like, I don't even listen to that 90% of the time unless it's like blatant. I think it's. I don't know. It's just weird how they don't. If they did this gimmick in WWE, everyone would accuse them of that shit.
Absolutely.
But like, not that I would accuse them of that shit, or I get triggered by this gimmick. I actually like Yuka Sakazaki, believe it or not. Oh, come on now, Phil. What an obscure Joshi wrestler, apartment wrestling schoolgirl. No, I'm just kidding.
I was watching them the other day, and he actually said, "Oh, come on now, Eric," and I popped so hard. I know. It was just so good. It says, "Well, I haven't watched them in a long time because usually I just watch Wise Choices, and I can avoid Conrad." But there was something they were talking about. They're like, "All right, I'll watch." I was watching
I was watching one with Eric, and he had a different guy hosting it. With
I saw that.
And they go. And like the top comment or whatever the comment was
nothing
like,
but that.
It was like, Conrad's not here, so automatically it's gonna be a good episode or something. I don't know.
There was multiple. Conrad just lost his job.
Oh man. Andre Adams for $2 says, why is she wearing hammer pants? Can't touch this.
There's your trivia about me. First concert I ever went to, MC Hammer.
Oh my God, is that true?
That's dead ass. Yep. MC Hammer with Boys to Men and TLC were the two openers. I'm not kidding. I was at the Phoenix Veterans Memorial Coliseum in 1989.
Dude,
I don't really remember it, but my mom had some pictures and my mom talks about it. That was the first concert she ever took me to.
Well, speaking of shit that's outdated, Kevin Dunn was in WWE for a long time,
so good.
And he sucked, man. And so whatever, WWE just decided, let's drop this. They didn't even have to do this, you know what I mean? And they just drop it on their socials like, here you guys go. They didn't even have to do this little montage or whatever you want to call it, but just what they're gonna try and I guess I'll leave it small screen. They're gonna try and pull me for this shit, but it's okay. It's PWT, not pull me from the air, but they will after put a yellow tag on my shit. I already.
I mean, the words are on it too, so you could mute it if you wanted to, because all the words are under them. But it's so good.
I mean, I guess let's just watch the beauty that it is.
Maybe Drew was a little bit naive to think that
I'll turn it down.
Be over because he jumped me in
it's so good.
Ago.
But yeah, so they're showing like the way when they did the House of Horrors, or what was that match with Randy Orton and Bray where they did that like in the ring?
Probably all agree.
Oh, that WrestleMania, whichever one it was, with the bugs.
Sent me to a hospital.
Wow, that whole attack.
So good. That camera.
Damn stubborn.
And I'm going to pause. Oh, it ended. Perfect. Yeah, WWE, we love you. Fanatics affiliate over here. Just
And you feel like that was something that somebody put together just because they could, you know what I mean? And because there's so much more creative freedom there now, and people aren't worried, with walking around with, their cheeks clenched because of Vince and being worried that he's going to just randomly yell at them or fire them or whatever. They can have more freedom. I feel like someone just did this because they could. I can make this sweet, cool video from this angle and do that. And, even if you get on the show, we'll just post it on Twitter for fun. So good.
So Zilla Fatu has not signed with WWE. Fatu had a disagreement with GCW. Now, I don't agree with this. I think they have him on that, you know how they announced we're doing like independent NIL contracts for indie guys again and stuff like that. I think they have him on a thing where he can go work wherever, but he can't sign to any like major other than WWE.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure Jordan Grace and Joe Hendry are both on that same shit,
Would
And
make a lot
if
of
I'm
sense.
lying, call me a liar. Someone prove me wrong, though. Please, because I think I'm onto this, but I'm also not.
No,
a
that
news
would make
source.
a
Don't
lot of
believe
sense.
anything I say. Yeah.
No, but that's a really good thought for how they would, because with the NIL deals with the people in college, they stay in college, they do their sport, but they can train and do that work with them at WWE, which is exactly what Hendry and Jordan Grace were doing. Hendry just posted the other day that he wrapped up his first kind of go around at the PC. He had a post with Terry Taylor about all the training he got from him. That'd be really smart, especially for people that they know they want to eventually sign, but maybe aren't ready. They want to get more seasoning. I'd kind of heard that Zilla wanted to raise the rate that GCW was giving him. That would make a lot of sense of why he would want to do that if he was getting paid from the WWE and he wants to go work in maybe places that are a little less crazy.
Yeah, man. And people were like, "Oh man, he no shows. He has a bad history. He's trying to bury him. Oh, he's unprofessional. He can't work in NXT." I think that's bullshit. I think he's good to
that's
go,
much crap.
Yeah, I think he's just asking for more money, and his stock has gone up. Just look at this picture and the shape he's in.
Right?
Too. What have I been telling you guys? These Samoans all see that there's a window for these Tongans, and you got to get juicy, and this bloodline shit might really pop off. We might get the bloodline show where it's just bloodline. Also, no, that's a Vince McMahon idea. It's like 205 Live.
No, but with Netflix, though, I could see doing maybe like a bloodline special. You know what I mean? Like maybe an episode is now. See, there you got some things you could try to maybe pull.
Yeah, remember when they did Beast in the East with like Brock Lesnar returning to Japan and that? So they do like a bloodline, whatever, and then you got like Naya's on the card. You got like okay, Hikuleo's in NXT. He's on the card. I just don't. What the fuck would Hikuleo do in NXT? I really don't.
Yeah, I feel like you're right. That's like a swerve. Like he's training there, and so they put him on the roster for fun, and maybe he'll have like a dark match or something, or do some things and do work like with people there and have matches, but with no crowd or something to get training and get ready. But yeah, but they want people to maybe think he's going to do what Solo did initially and spend a year in NXT before going. But no, he'll debut like the Tongans.
I hope so. I hope so. Fatu and GCW have been in contact, but no word on if the two will work together again. Who knows? He's booked for other shows, though. Oh, yeah, here's the video of the Lolo they pulled up, and we talked about it before. That's awesome. So, Booker T speaking on Ethan Page coming to WWE versus Adam Cole going to AEW. If he lying, may lightning strike me. So thank you at Cyrus on TW. Speaking on the Hall of Fame podcast, Booker T talked about many AEW stars moving to WWE, including Ethan Page. He noted that the era of ego is taking over the company, while Adam Cole's move to Tony Khan's promotion didn't serve him too well, which is true.
Very
Ethan
true.
Page and AEW, dog, he really wasn't that relevant, man. And then coming to NXT, man, the guy, he's a star, Booker said. I mean, everybody knows Ethan Page right now, man. He's a guy that's doing a hell of a job. When you got a guy who's, let's just say, for instance, Adam Cole in WWE, yeah, man. In NXT, he was super, super hot. I mean, I had touted this guy as being the next Shawn Michaels. A lot of people did. That's what I said. I said that. And then he goes to AEW. gets lost in the shuffle. Really don't hear a whole lot from him. Yeah, it's true, man. And he is hurt. So, I mean, not a good comparison, but it is crazy how badly he hurt himself twice in AEW, you know, and then he's dealing with like, I think neurological shit as well or something. So I don't know. You ain't hype for $2 says 6 more likes. Let's go PWT universe. Yeah.
Get him up.
6 likes, man. Run those up. I know there's 6 haters hate listening.
Did you see Ethan Page's interview with freaking StreamYard?
No, you're good. I can hear you now.
No, I know. I saw it click out and go back on you. It's like, just being dumb. But that interview is really good. You can see how happy the guy is. It's cool to see. And you can see that he's just like, they're giving me a chance and I'm fucking taking it.
Oh, dude, Mina Shirakawa was back. HLA, yeah.
Yeah.
Mina and Mariah back together once more.
I was waiting for you to see that.
Yeah, she is amazing. Gotta be real. But yeah, we're just gonna get Willow and Yuka versus Mariah and Mina. And I don't know. Haven't we seen this before? Didn't we see that happen? I felt like we've seen that. So now we get Neo Moxley versus Darby Dumas Allen in the next match. So.
The name is Dumas. Yeah, that's good. Oh God.
But yeah, dude, Adam Cole, prayers up for him. Ethan Page killing it. What can you say?
I mean, just totally taking up just totally doing it.
We talked about Jey Uso earlier. Here's him crying after his title win. We can show this because it's social media.
You can see him. He's like, he's just like, I need a minute. And none of the crowd's leaving. And none of the crowd's leaving too. Like, and that was after the show. And I mean, we've all been to plenty of wrestling shows.
Come on.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right, dude. No one left, and
yeah,
he's
like
so over. George said it too. You got to strike now. You got to sell all those glasses and shirts now, and then because if it doesn't get over, if it doesn't stay over, then pull the trigger now. No, that's a Tony Khan move. You got to certain things. You got to push, and like Breaker's just a rookie, dude. I don't even think they should have gave Breaker that belt yet. The whole time I was like, dude, just milk that, because when he gets it, you want it to be a long run, and Gunther just had a long run, so we're not going to get 2 back-to-back guys just crushing everyone with the belt. So I don't know. It was obviously going to flip-flop around, but at the same time, I didn't think Jay, of all people, was going to be the guy this soon, not on a pay-per-view to do it. So,
which is also a great reason to do it too, because that no one was expecting it, which got even
a moment.
That pop was massive. It was such a loud pop.
Jay, I got one thing to say.
Come on.
You did it on your own, Oos.
I mean, that's about time, Jackie. Thanks for rocking with your Oos.
Always. What can we expect from the new Intercontinental Champion?
We're gonna keep it yeet around here. We're gonna keep it yeet around here, Jackie. Don't switch up.
How you celebrating those for real?
I love seeing Jackie on NHL as well, and good Canadian girl there.
And that's another thing too, that it's always funny how Vince and like the old regime wanted to get people that were quote unquote, from real sports or whatever, but then they wouldn't let them go back and do things for it. As where with Jackie Redmond's got like the 2 different jobs. I know that was why. What was it? I forget who her name was, but she then joined ESPN. I forget what her name was a couple years ago, but that happened too. So it's cool to see that she's still able to do that kind of stuff. But that's only good for them. Get some more mainstream eyes on things. Oh, good.
So Neo Moxley. WWE ambassador Titus O'Neil was featured on the song "I Am the Storm," which was used for Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns' celebrated SmackDown segment. So he's featured on that, dude.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Me neither. So good for him, and that's awesome. So this thing right here, Fadeaway Media, he figured it out. A lot of people were saying PRF, Penta, Rey Fenix. Well, the Lucha Bros have trademarked the names King Fuego and King Phoenix. We chronicled it on this show already. You guys already know. Also, if we're reading this thing clockwise, it would say PFR or RPF.
Right.
Okay. Just putting it out there. So that's not now. As soon as I saw this, I went, "Oh, the Viking Raiders," because the voice too is like fate will whatever. But
And
it's the war.
it looks like Viking.
It looks like the shit that's on their shields,
Yeah,
dude. They
right.
have this stuff on their gear. I can pull up pictures if you guys want, but they have these letters on. Like I've seen enough Viking shows and stuff to know this. So then this dude here, Fadeaway Media, with a big W, he pulled this up. So this is the runic alphabet, which is like, I don't know if it's Norse or whatever, but yeah, the letters. So VW is the P, A is this F,
Yep.
and then R is an R. So, and we also took S's from the Vikings as well. I know that, like this, like words that are like ska and stuff like that, like SK and stuff. Those came from Viking stuff like that. So yeah, it's war is WAR, and so they're gonna come back as the War Raiders. What were they called? War Machine or whatever? I don't know. War Raiders, I think is their OG name.
Yeah, and I know War Machine was when the match that Jim Cornette managed them as, because he mentions it every now and then on his pod when he would see them, especially when they were the Viking Experience. The only reason I thought it might not be them was because I thought they were both injured, but that's awesome. Great. I'm glad they're both getting healthy then.
Yeah, but that's why you start playing vignettes. That's why you start playing vignettes, though, because they're starting to build up, and when they come back,
yeah,
hopefully they can just be themselves from New Japan, basically. Like that's when they were on fire, and you had people in Japan doing the war, like they were doing that. They don't really do stuff like that. So
yeah,
they were over like Rover, dude.
And that's what Triple H wanted when he originally signed them for NXT. And then because Vince loves Vikings, somebody, wanted to get brownie points with Vince and mentioned it to him. And he, that's what they always said. They tried to hide NXT from him. Like, no, nothing's going on down there. You don't need to see this. They're in training. It's developmental. Nothing's going on down there. Because the moment he'd get his hands on it, it became, NXT 2.0.
And there's all these rumors too that the Lucha Bros aren't even done. Like their contracts are technically like they're still working for AEW or something. So who knows? Hopefully they can just show up in WWE soon, but I don't know, man. I could see the Lucha Bros and Motor City being like the two top teams in NXT on the CW. So I know people were like, no, their main roster right away. But where's any of that confirmed? All we've had is just conflicting reports constantly. Who knows, So
that's what I always say when people are like, oh, well, it's been reported. I'm always wondering, like, well, where does it go back to? Because a lot of people, even people that will like discredit the dirt sheets, will then when they're talking, like, oh, well, we know this is happening. Well, do we know? Because like people are talking about how like they've like the WWE already has masks being produced. Like maybe that their creative services teams are starting to work some things up so that they're ready when they sign them. They're preparing. That's normal. They would totally do that. But people are acting like it's tampering or whatever, which is bullshit because it's not like it's not something where tampering can happen.
Right.
It's not like it's sports.
So Puck News, who reported the AEW TV deal was basically imminent or done or whatever, and they're outside of the wrestling bubble. They're like Eric Bischoff has cited people reporting this shit. He's like, yeah, this guy broke this big story and whatever. I don't know. I'm not into it as much on that side, but apparently they're pretty credible, man. If they're talking about stuff like this, it's probably pretty legit. But Wrestle Ops, it's via them. They go, or Puck News says, after seeing early footage of the docuseries surrounding him, Vince McMahon tried to buy the project back from Netflix. Vince had Endeavor's Ari Emanuel chime in too, also voicing concern about the treatment of Vince's alter ego. Netflix refused to let the project go. Then I saw a bunch of people being like, oh, Ari knew, blah, blah, blah. No. This is before Vince had to be fully canceled and they had to kick him out of WWE and all that shit because they didn't know. But Vince went to Ari to try and help him. Like, dude, they're portraying my character wrong and trying to Ari's not looking. It wasn't like a, hey, man, they're going to get this stuff out about the Janelle Grant case. And the thing is the Janelle Grant case is nothing in the doc. When you guys watch it, if you haven't, Darby's spitting up blood everywhere. Amazing
already.
Great. Anyways, though, so there's no heat on anybody for this, man. This isn't like it had nothing to do with that except other than for Vince's ego and maybe some of the Janelle stuff, but ultimately, and now I'm using her name after I said I never fucking would because these monsters, you know what I mean? People are like, you don't talk about it. It's like, okay, I guess I'll talk about it. I'm going to stop using her name, actually. The situation. and not the Jersey Shore kind. Okay, is what we're talking about here. But yeah, so Netflix refused to let it go. Thank God. I know people are like, oh, it was boring, but nah, I'm breaking down the series, and you guys are gonna love it.
I think the only people that think it's boring are people that know all the story. Like, imagine somebody that doesn't know but knows wrestling exists, or people. There's a lot of people. I got friends that watch stuff that know nothing about online, like what goes on online, or any of those backstories and stuff. So there's definitely a lot to it that people need to see.
Darby hit the post, flipped out, hit the stair, and then flipped to the fucking ground. He's just it's madness.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So Vince McMahon puts out a statement, right? And he goes, now the last tweet I read was before Vince's statement came out, okay? Or I mean after, pardon me. But so I don't know if they're making that up, but Puck News is pretty credible from what I hear. So I guess we can believe that. That's why I read it first, because that's in hindsight, right? Oh, he tried to bury the shit, but he puts out this statement going, I don't regret participating in this Netflix documentary, pal. Huh? The producers had an opportunity to tell an objective story about my life and the incredible business I built, which were equally filled with excitement, drama, fun, and a fair amount of controversy, life lessons, and definitely no poop. Unfortunately, based on an early partial cut I've seen, this doc falls short and takes the predictable path of conflating the Mr. McMahon character with my true self, Vincent McMahon. The title and promos alone make that evident. A lot has been misrepresented or left out entirely in an effort to leave viewers intentionally confused, pal. The producers use typical editing tricks, which I know all about, with out of context footage and dated sound bites, etc., much like my text messages. To distort the viewer's perception and support a deceptive narrative. I know. He's gonna puke. I'm gonna puke. In an attempt to further their misleading account, the producers use a lawsuit based on an affair. And it was for surely just an affair that I ended as evidence that I am, in fact, Mr. McMahon. Oh, yeah, pal. I hope the viewer will keep an open mind and remember that there are two sides to every story, pal.
I always say there's three sides. There's your side, there's my side, and there's the truth. That's what I always Yeah, there's Vince's side, the situation side, and then what actually happened.
Everett Todd for $2 says AEW is the only company with no merch game.
None.
Well, I mean,
Oh
I would say
God.
that's the truth. Yeah.
that is the most truthful statement. I've been to one AEW show, and it was the saddest merch stand I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And that was
they are pretty
before,
sad.
and it was pretty early. It wasn't super early on in their run, but it was early enough where like they still had Punk and there was still hope, like you still thought there was something that could happen. And yeah, I remember seeing that and telling my buddy, I'm like, that's it. And then I remember hearing that was when the Bucks wives were there. They were running the merch. You're like, oh, well,
The best guy is Tony Khan.
So Stephanie Stephanie M. Chase. Stephanie Chase. So it's Stephanie M. Chase. Okay, there we go. Response from Ann Callis. Hope no relation to Dawn. Attorney for Janelle Grant to Vince McMahon's statement. And somebody pointed it out, like the whole Vince thing is like they're like arguing over phone bills and stuff. So like it's just so, I'm not like saying he didn't do anything messed up, but I don't just get why he didn't. If he just paid her, none of this shit would have happened. I'm not saying I wish that Vince was around. You guys, I bury him harder than anyone. I make fun of him harder than anyone. And I also am so, like, every time I'm enjoying WWE, I always throw out there, thank God Vince is gone. You know what I mean? Like, anytime I think about this dude and his mess, but if he's so egotistical, which you come to find out throughout this documentary as well, it's like, if he just paid her, this shit wouldn't have even happened probably, So it's crazy. It's not like she's in love with him.
Right. And it wasn't like she was asking for, $30 million. It's like, what, 3 or 6? But I mean, that's a lot of money, yes, but not to him.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm gonna keep shaming him for the pooping thing forever, and calling him a dumbass for not being smart enough. No, but like obviously I don't condone the shit, and I don't want him around WWE. But it's just so foolish, man. It's like the power. Yeah, I could fire. Like that's like that's like more valuable to him almost than the money. It seems like and I think that's because of his relationship with his estranged father, but you'll get that in my breakdown of the doc. Anyways, though, Ann Callis, attorney for Janelle Grant, the former WWE employee and SA and human trafficking survivor who has filed a lawsuit against former WWE CEO Vince McMahon, John Laurinaitis, and the organization, released the following statement ahead of the premiere of Netflix's Mr. McMahon docuseries. Vince McMahon physically and emotionally aid and S-aid, YouTube, sorry guys, and human peddled Janelle Grant for more than 2 years, calling his horrific and criminal behavior an affair. Is delusional and nothing more than a sad attempt to save his shredded reputation. Although Miss Grant has not seen the Mr. McMahon docuseries, we hope it shines a bright light on his abhorrent and criminal actions by accurately portraying the realities of his abusive and exploitative behavior. Miss Grant will no longer be silenced by McMahon. Her story, though deeply troubling and exceptionally painful, is one that can help other abuse survivors find their voices. We seek to hold McMahon, Laurinaitis, and WWE accountable, and to give Miss Grant her day in court. So there you go. I don't know. What else can we say? Check out my reviews as they drop. You know what I mean? I don't know. Let's dive into some more Phil Marks bookmarks. So that was WWE news, guys. Might as well get into AEW news. So we'll keep that card up there. I've got quite a bit. Some of these too I'm banking up for a little video I'm working on. So I don't know. Did I play this on the show? I think I already did, but just as a refresher, we'll play it again. Here's Alvarez confirming that Tony Khan doesn't care about long-term booking.
Tony Khan started telling people there's no such thing as long-term booking anymore. It's week to week. And when I heard that, I was like, what? He didn't really say that. But if you watch the show, that's what happened. I think those two were big. And I think obviously the biggest issue was that Tony Khan started telling people.
Boom. So what a dumb fuck. I'm saving that soundbite. WWE sources claim that the Lucha Bros are not signed to WWE contracts yet. So
You what?
like, what is everybody talking about then? I guess they're not signed. Mercedes. Okay, FYI, this quote. Oh, yeah. So this quote is being shared on social media and nobody actually sourced it. So I'm going to assume it's fake. But apparently Mercedes, this is what people claim she said. And I don't know if Jake, did you hear this? Did you see this?
Yeah, no, I did see this and I made a comment on it and people were saying it's fake. And I'm like, okay, if it can be fake, sure. The problem is she said so much crap like this that it's so damn believable. Like you read this and you're like, I could see her saying this because she said so much other stuff, like she did with the stuff with Megan Thee Stallion, where she was saying how it was her that was going to bring her to WWE, and then Julian pointed out that no, they were talking with her in 2021. So, nobody believes their own hype more than she does. So
it's so funny too how Wrestling News Co. goes, oh, we're not going to share this because we don't know if it's real or not. But then they're sharing
it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Fuck, man. Such just like shady biz. Like you're the news for real.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Jesus
no, that
Christ.
is a total shady move. Like, oh yeah, we're not going to share this as a story, but here it is.
So she goes, I always felt like I was a bigger fish in a small pond over there in WWE. I always felt like I was destined for bigger things, and I had a massive anchor tied to my ankle. I had to pass up on a major Hollywood roles to honor tour dates and PPVs while I was there. In brackets, WWE every time. Like, yeah, we get it. Tony understands me. I've got some projects coming up that he's already signed off on me taking time off to do. Wow, so thanks for just letting us know you're dipping out and taking time off of your 3 or 5 year deal?
And you're
already?
1 day of work a week.
Oh my God, man. If
Well, at
this
least
is
Samuel gets
real,
some
I
TV
can't.
time.
I can't believe if it's real. I can't even roast her for real. I feel I've been working on an album that I'm hoping releases by next year. And Tony has even agreed to consider having one of my tracks be the theme song of our new show that's running soon. I don't, dude. One of her tracks is Shockwave to counteract SmackDown and Meg the Stallion. I don't know if I'm allowed to say the name of it yet, but yeah, we're changing the landscape of wrestling as a whole, and I'm just excited to be on the better side of it here at AEW Wrestling.
She's definitely an asshole.
Yeah, bro. I don't know.
Yeah, no, but the thing is, like, okay, if that is fake, then I could have, and it probably is, because let's be real, a lot of that stuff gets shared around like that. But the problem is, she said so many other things that are real and has done so many different crap podcasts that you'd believe it. Like that was easily believable when I read it. I didn't think for a second it was fake, and then people were saying it was. I'm like, all right, sure, could be.
So speaking of fake, no, I'm just kidding, but Duke was calling out Mansoor on the show, so call back. But listen, Mansoor, I'm cool with you, bro. I don't even know you like that. So, anyways, this guy's on a Mansoor's on a podcast with Aubrey Edwards and Will Washington, who, mind you, is on the creative team, and he's sitting here talking about how great his creative is in AEW.
And all Will the has Tony's ear too.
Yeah,
like,
sorry.
I said Will has Tony's ear too, even if he's not working on every piece of creative. Everyone's saying that he's got, he's one of the main voices in Tony's ear, and he's Strickland's cousin. So of course he's going to blow him on this.
Yeah, dude, and Mansoor and Mace are in AEW doing the exact same fucking gimmick, the exact same thing they were doing in WWE, and they're allowed to keep their goddamn name. And they're sitting here saying that the creative is way better to a guy on the creative in AEW on an AEW podcast, bro. Like, this couldn't be, like, come on, man. This is like a parody or something. This can't even be real, bro. He's saying it he's kissing this dude's ass. I'm just gonna call it spade a spade on the show, and he's just doing the gimmick he came up with in WWE. What's different? Oh, the matches. Oh, we're just in more matches on shows on Collision.
This is a full Lanny Poffo,
bro.
People who get that, get that.
Okay, here, let's listen to this.
When we were on the,
and I know we're getting Don Stevens because he's, Aubrey Edwards hosting the show and
the Indies. We had the goal of going to AEW. That was always the goal.
And it was always their goal. I don't know. That was always your goal.
Liar! Right, because if WWE had made you the offer to come back, you wouldn't.
Goddamn liar! I'm actually going to leave this one small because I know they're going to Don Stevens my ass. So here's it.
And honest to God, like, even while we were in WWE, me and Mason, we're kind of we're different a little bit, if that makes sense. If there's a comparison to make, it's like if WWE is like a Michael Bay movie, I see AEW as like a David Lynch movie. You know what I mean? Yeah. I was like, you can. And there was always something so alluring about that. I remember we were sitting when AEW first started. We were in NXT, and we'd be sitting in that auditorium watching NXT while people would be on their phones watching AEW. And there was always
so people are like, "Oh, this confirms the story that they were all huddled around watching NXT." It's like, okay, who gives a shit? And look at Aubrey. She's like, "Yeah, see, I told you guys so. I told you it's the best show. I told it's the best." It's the best show. No. I'm not gonna steal Paul London's bit, but yeah, dude, look at her. She's so happy. She's so happy that they're blowing. And then look at Washington. He's got all the titles like Tony Khan. He's collecting the belts. He's got AEW everywhere.
Yeah,
he's just smiling away. It's like, bro, come on, man. This dude's on the creative, and Aubrey's clearly like a for lifer. They have her involved in everything,
Right, she took over the heels after Brandy left.
Yeah, she was like on the video game. She's doing this, and it's just like, man, this is so just silly.
Oh, right, she was with the stupid Steve Jobs
that?
video game. The stupid Steve Jobs video game launch they did, where they all dressed up in the turtleneck. Yeah, it was Britt Baker, Omega, her. Oh, that was terrible.
There was always an element of like that outsider intrigue, that new sort of revolutionary thing. where we were like, God, I feel like if we were over there, we could be doing something really special. So like all these years later, it's so rewarding to actually show up and for it to kind of take off in that sense where creatively speaking, I think it's just firing off on all cylinders where the synergy has been awesome. Because getting the opportunity to actually,
hey, what do you guys want to do? We want to like do some like pseudo kind of half gay shit. Okay, go and do that. What is the creative process behind it?
Well, and it better be creatively speaking, because it's not financially speaking taking off anywhere.
That's what I mean.
I'm like,
oh yeah, Will, when we tell you our ideas about how we're going to touch tips and all that shit, and you love it, it's awesome. Oh, and you love it. Yeah, it's great. It's great. Oh, everything's great. Great. Awesome. Let's do it. Like, what is the fucking I just don't get it. I just really don't get it.
No, the creative process is, man. Oh, you're so awesome. No, you're so awesome. No, you're so great. No, you're so great. Like, just stop blowing each other.
I like these guys too. I like their gimmicks. Their gimmicks good too. We get great heat on house shows, man. I was at a house show where they were chanting. Some people, like a few people, were chanting like kill the F words to fucking Mason Mansard. Yeah, that rank. Where I was like, whoa, I was in buttfuck nowhere, but
yeah.
But I was traveling, man. It was crazy, but it was to me, I was like, holy shit, man. But they just they just took the shit and just played into the crowd and everything. It was like 4 guys trying to chant it, and everyone was like, not into, but just the fact that was like, I think in the maybe when did they start doing that gimmick? Couldn't have been that long ago, man, that I saw that.
So what's funny is they actually debuted that gimmick here in Phoenix, like in person, or at least with LA Knight, or whereas Max Dupree, his first ever time on the mic as Max Dupree was here. I was at the show. It was July of 2022. When he was doing like the runway thing and had like the cards and they were doing, it was terrible. Like the crowd was dead. We were all like, what is this? But yeah, like they I forgot what I was gonna say.
Oh, well, yeah. They anyways, though, Moxley though, DDTs.
Oh yeah, that's what I was watching.
Darby
that
off the top. So Moxley beats Darby for his title shot against Danielson. And I've been saying Moxley is gonna be the guy to retire Danielson. And there you go. That's what they're building to. You can see it already. Your boy Phil knows. And here's Danielson choking him out now with a belt or something. People just have to do attempted murders all the time on AEW.
This is murder.
Yeah. So here, we'll listen to the rest of Mansoor here.
They have a little bit of creative freedom while also working with the creative team in AEW has, I think, for us, produced some of the best things that we've ever done. So it's just been awesome.
I remember what I was going to say. I watched a lot of their online stuff when they were still in WWE with Maxine before it all kind of fell apart. Some of those things were pretty funny and they were decent. Like I saw what they were doing there, but it never obviously went anywhere with it. But it's exactly the same gimmick, at least from the clips that I've seen. I haven't actually watched any shows with them on it doing this gimmick in, AEW, ROH, whatever you want to, wherever they are.
So like AEW, all these guys, like these jobbers are coming out to try and beat up the White Pool Combat Club.
I was trying to figure out who was that with him. Like, who is that? Who are these guys? Random Jobber 1, Random Jobber 2, somebody with a mask. Is that Alex Abrahantes?
Yeah, that's Alex Abrahantes. So
Brian's
going to work with Private. He's going to work with Private Party and Commander.
It's Commander.
Like, is that what they're trying to do? I don't understand.
Yeah, that's what's. Yeah, it'll be a. There's going to be a trios match with Pac, Claudio, and. Oh man, yeah, that's terrible. That's just terrible.
And then Danielson saying, "I'm going to kick your fucking head in on TV." What is this, PWT?
Drop an F-bomb.
Yes. Wow. The Lucha's Commander, who's the Neo Moxleys. Yeah, this is crazy. I don't know what the fuck they're doing, and why is Danielson's backup these 3 guys? Like, what is going on in this company, man? I don't understand.
The best guys, Tony Khan.
Week to week booking. Just throw it out there. It's fine. It'll all work. Dream match.
Speaking of
It's a
Tony
dream
Khan,
match.
Tony Khan confirms AEW and WBD have plans to do a lot of things on Max, including pay-per-views and weekly TV shows. Jesus Christ, man. People are just so ridiculous.
That's the thing too with that. If depending on how much, WBD's getting of their pay-per-view deal, it's not as big of a deal, even if it is that 170 million number, if they're getting a big portion of it, because most of the money that's going in, I won't say revenue, but most of the money that they've brought in is from their pay-per-views. It's not really revenue because they're spending more, but
So on Collision, we got to get hyped for Claudio and them versus Commander and Private Party and them. Jesus Christ. Some guy for $2 says, did you see Ethan Page's interview
Good
with
interview.
CVV? Yes, I did. I absolutely did. I think I have a clip stashed somewhere. I don't know. I might have, sometimes I fuck up my bookmarks. I think I press it twice or whatever, and then it doesn't save because, I thought I had that in AEW news, but it's all good. But yes, dude, amazing. CVV, Giga Chad Van Vliet is the GOAT. Next week we get Ospreay versus Ricochet. Great. Oh, AEW 5-year anniversary. Okay, so that's next week's show. Tony always has a gimmick, so we always have a gimmick. It's great. So they uploaded, AEW uploaded the best of, or sorry, we skipped completely over this. Tony Khan confirms AEW and WBD have plans to do a lot of things on Max, blah, blah, blah. The plan is, I think, to do a lot of things potentially with Max. That could involve a variety of things. We have the shows on TBS and TNT. That's how they are available now. Dynamite, Collision, Rampage, pay-per-views, everything is on the table. For the PPVs, for sure, we've had great conversations about streaming. We've been doing it on BR. They are sunsetting Bleacher Report. We're going to be doing our pay-per-views on other apps. It's like, dude, we know he's not saying anything. We're working on some exciting announcements about where to get those and what's to come with Max. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I can promise you, I'm 100% confident that you're going to have AEW on TBS and TNT for a long time to come. So yeah,
Who's
I think
he trying to
he's sticking
convince?
around for a while. Himself. I don't know. I think it is true. I think there's some truth to it. So, but here's the thing, though. They upload this. AEW uploads the best of Nigel McGuinness, former Ring of Honor World Champion, and WWE copyright blocked it. Now, people were laughing. It is funny. Like, it's funny to bring up in AEW news, but people got triggered and were like, oh, petty WWE. And it's like, yo, that's not how that works, right? So some of these things are like automated. So,
right.
Like, I upload to YouTube literally every day of my life, guys. So I know. Even if I'm traveling, I upload or I'm checking my YouTube shit, so I know what I'm talking about. This happens like to me, like when WWE, like I told you guys, they don't strike you or try and like whatever, but they put a flag that's like they'll block your video in some countries and regions. So you got to clip it out or whatever, you don't get Don Stevens and them will DMCA strike motherfuckers. Like they're not doing that. This is like an automated block. It happens to me too when I use WWE footage and don't transform it enough. And or like with music, and you just got to trim that section out or whatever after. And I have no problem doing it. If I do a fucking 3-hour live show and I trim, there's 2 minutes of trim because of one of the segments. Well, that's why you got to watch the live show. You know what I mean? But
that's
yeah,
why a lot of the Botchamania and Promo Joe videos, they're reversed. Like when they want to show something for it. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. So you got to beat the algorithm.
I'm working on some scripted content as well, guys.
Nice.
That's more like general, just like for the masses type thing. And hopefully it takes off on the channel. I'm going to drop the first one soon. And again, patrons and members will get it, I believe, first. For sure, patrons will. And then and yeah, I don't even want to stooge what it is, but you guys will hopefully like it. And yeah, it's something different for this channel, mixing it up. And I think it'll add a bit of value into the IWC for like newer wrestling fans and stuff. But yeah, anyways, the best of Nigel McGuinness here got a block, whatever. People were crying about it. Petty WWE, man, AEW would do it too. It has nothing. It was just automated because WWE uploaded content with the same footage as AEW. So that's how YouTube works too. Like, let's say like I go to a producer and I lease some music off of them, but it's a beat. It's like a production that they lease to multiple people, and you can buy lease agreements. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. And then let's say I make a YouTube video with that beat and I'm the first one to do it. or like a song or something, and then someone else leases that beat and then uploads it, their video will get claimed by the other dude who leased, because they own it first. It's like really first come, first serve until you can like prove, like, so let's say I upload WWE shit and then they copyright strike me. I can't beat them in court. So unless you're literally, and that's what it comes to with YouTube, like literally willing and able to fight in court over footage, you know, over ownership, it's like whoever owns it will have to claim it after. That's what happened to a lot of artists who didn't integrate into the digital pivot, as they called it. You know what I mean? Like when musicians all went over to YouTube, like all of those musicians wish that they had their own YouTube channels. They don't all want fucking Vivos that someone else gets the money from. You know what I mean? Like they all wish they had their own shit in the YouTube space and all of that stuff. Like, trust me,
and there's a lot of weird stuff with that, because I know there was a lot of like songs that were in TV shows that couldn't get the song over into streaming because of the same kind of license deals. So like if you watch, like my wife had never seen Scrubs, and so we were trying to watch it on whatever it was streaming on, and twice I'm like, that's the wrong freaking song. And like I went online and got the DVD sets going. The music is half the reason I enjoyed the show back in the day, especially for some of the songs I really loved. And then I kind of heard about it and looked into it a little bit, and yes, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So
cool.
Tony Khan appeared on, he was also asked about being a competitor to WWE, and he gets asked flat out, are you trying to beat them? And Tony Khan responds flat out, yeah, I want to be ahead, but it's a constant fight. It's 52 weeks a year. Wrestling is the only sport with no off season. And then they go, is it an obsession trying to beat them? And he goes, fighting is an obsession. It really is a driving obsession. Competition is especially in wrestling and sports. Do you think that could be hard? Oh, sorry, that's not. They go, do you think that could be harmful in getting caught up and trying to beat them and hurting what you're doing? Similar to sports, you have to focus it and try to do your best. That's how you win in sports too. None of your teams are winning, Tony Khan. The Jaguars suck.
What do you know about winning?
AEW sucks. You guys don't know shit about winning. You keep going out and doing your best at whatever you're trying to do. Whatever helps you sleep at night, pal.
Because now, I don't. Does he sleep at night? I don't think so. Oh my God, that's great. There it is, right there. Winning at sports,
Jacksonville,
right there. 0-2,
47-10, 0-3 after that game.
Right, yeah.
And Tony sitting there with a fucking neck brace on that NFL draft day. We watched it, and Triple H just thought, imagine the coaches, players, and front office of a struggling franchise looking at this guy's using their draft day as fodder for a vanity project. And that's so fucking true, dude. Jaguars,
there's two guys where he's like, what happened to him? I think he took a pile drive. Like just that. Yeah, that was great. That gave you everything you need to know about what the front office thinks of that doofus.
The Jaguars' record since being bought by the Khans in 2011 is 65-128.
Jesus.
Bro, that is pretty bad.
There it is. That's what that deserves. Yeah.
Darby Allin says WWE,
and they're ranking NFL coaching hires the last I think it was 10 years, and the Jaguars got the worst out of every team because they had like three just terrible coaches, and they were blaming Tony's dad, but yeah, you know that it's just they're complete failures. I didn't realize the record was that bad. Almost double the losses.
Tony Khan's doing the drafting, so
yeah, drafting in one ear and out the other. That's where that drafting is. Oh, here's the other.
Darby Allin says WWE is like singer Taylor Swift, while AEW is like the band Slayer. Now, I don't know. I just think you can't really even make that comparison. It's not even a fair comparison, but I get what he was trying to say. But Darby can shut the fuck up after he talks shit about Kurt Angle in my book. So,
and Slayer makes money, so
yeah. That's exactly it. They sold like 20 million albums or 30 million albums or something like that. So yeah, here's the Ethan Page clip that you guys were asking about.
What went into the decision to leave where you were at in AEW?
It was time. Yeah, it was time. And I wasn't getting what I magically got here, which was the opportunity to show what I bring to the table.
Well, it wasn't magic. It was hard work and preparation and
Right.
the right time and the right place.
Right.
That all converged and came together.
This here, to me, is preparation meets opportunity.
What went into the decision?
Boom. So he deserves it. There's also, I might have another clip, but he talks about how he had like 70 or 100 indie dates booked, and he's like on the road to one of them, and WWE calls him, and they're like, hey, like, you want to work? Here's the terms, da-da-da-da-da. He's like, yeah, sure. He hangs up the phone, and he's like, is that even real? Then, he's just still driving like, what even happened? And then he gets another call, and then it's another number, and they're like, yeah, so you agreed to this, da-da-da, we'll fax over it, whatever, cross the T's, dot the lowercase J's, all of that stuff. And then he's like, oh, I guess I'll call my wife now and be like, do I go to this indie show I'm on the way to? He's like, I guess I'll call my wife and tell them I think I just got a job at WWE. He's like, it just happened so fast. So good for him, man. He deserves it, and he's a star.
Yeah, you could see that in that interview, like how just fulfilled he is. And it's really just like what he said, they're giving him an opportunity. He's taking the ball and running with it. And from day one, I said it from like either after his first or second appearance on my wrestling buddies. It was like he's been presented as more of a star in NXT in 2 appearances than in 5 years in AEW or however many years he was there. Same with Lexis King. You can see it. Like they're just, and it's not that they're being pushed, it's that they're just given an opportunity to run with it, and then they're being pushed.
Yeah, and some guidance too,
Yeah,
you ain't
that
hyped
helps.
for you ain't hyped for $2, says Phil. Did you watch all 6 episodes of Mr. McMahon? I haven't seen them all yet, but you ain't hype. Make sure you tune into the Pro Wrestle Clips channel, this channel here, and you will see every day for the next, so starting tomorrow and then each day after, or maybe I'll drop 2 a day for the next 3 days. I don't know, however I'm feeling, but I'm going to drop a review of each episode where I psychoanalyze and break that shit down better than anybody. Everybody gave their garbage takes. Everybody within 2 minutes of watching it didn't even digest it. They tweeted out their trash fucking cold takes. You're going to hear mine. It's not even hot takes, but it's just the things, what I do, the nuances that I point out about these. Oh, come on now, Eric. Like the little things that Phil can pick up on. That's what I'm putting down in these videos, and I hope you guys tune into them. But I have not seen all 6 yet, but I'm going to binge them out. Well, I don't know. I'll probably space them out because I pause and record as I watch them. So anyways, QT Martin. So here, William Regal. He cooked this guy here. So Ken Indy 22 says, thank you for everything you did for NXT and also snaking out the competition, AEW. Which is like, I get it. That's a very like awful wrestling thing.
You what?
No, I'm just kidding. Of you to say, just like hater. You're just a hater, bro. But that's fine. And William Regal responds to this and says, FYI, although it serves some people's agenda and having a massive amount of people who work in AEW that can only back me up, I went to AEW to help because Bryan Danielson asked me to. Please find me one person who can say otherwise. I arrived at 10 a.m. until 6:15 p.m. Eastern. Just down to a fucking T. 6:15 p.m. Eastern, dude. He's regimented, man. To train anyone who wanted to come. Apart from going to the restroom and refilling my water container, I never attended a single production meeting, as I knew if I were to stay there. I needed people to realize I was only there to help, nor did I ask a single question about anybody that works there's contract status. I helped at the ring with what any of the talent needed. I showered and got into a suit by 6:30, then watched the monitor with everyone else. I'm giving you the right to ask anyone who works backstage or talent the right to ask them if I did anything but help with no agenda. Feel free. I also didn't call Tony when his mom was ill. So that's a narrative shifter right there. You know what I mean? That's that
was a massive drop. And he just kind of it's just kind of like buries the lead there, but you're like, wait, what? Because Tony stretched that like it was a major thing.
Yeah, and also that like the sheets sort of he called him and played in the Sickos. We're all like, he called him and played him when his mom was sick. It was scumbag carny shit, you know? But it's like, no, dude, and he goes, when his mom was ill, he called me, and as soon as he told me where he was, I ended the phone call, and we spoke 2 weeks later. Bro.
Yeah.
FYI, my deal was up on December 28th. Oh, in December 28th. Holy fuck. Oh, man, people were signing on to AEW for big money in lots of years, just thinking, dude, this thing will fold. Not thinking
because they were
WWE's.
thinking Vince was coming back and was going to stay back. Like, that's why I think FTR is similar too, where they're going to have a long. And I mean, I get it, but I kept even saying it then. I'm like, we'll see how long this lasts. Like, you knew that case was coming in
December 28th. But I think so. This is more evidence to go AEW won't ever die. If Regal's like, no, I know this guy. He has more money than anyone who's ever gotten into wrestling is willing to put money down, and he's willing to literally burn through it all. I need to get the fuck out of here. I can't last till 28. You know, and my son's over there. Thank God Tony let him go. But what a narrative shifter. And he just stooched him, man. He would have been there till December 28th. Thank fucking God Regal got out of there, bro.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Good Lord.
Shout out William fucking Ooh.
And also the way he says that too, about how when he says anybody who wanted help. I feel like he probably spent a lot of time talking with Danielson and maybe a couple other people, but it doesn't sound like that many people actually wanted his help, which is just insane. He's William
I'd
Regal.
be there working out with him
every day.
It's crazy.
Just picking his brain.
Yeah, just talking to him. That's when I left. These are all facts I can prove. Anyone trying to twist this has the right to check this out. I'm friendly with 60% plus of the talent backstage and crew. 60% plus. There's a huge chunk, 40%. He's like, fuck those guys, those wankers.
Team Buckaroo.
Yeah. Feel free to do some real research. And then people got his back, as they fucking should, because he's a legend. Here's QT Marshall from an office employee who worked with him. Everything he said in this tweet is accurate. There's even more here. So Fuego del Sol says, I'd show up at 10 a.m. to train with Mr. Regal and Danielson as often as I could. Fucking shut up, Fuego, man. That's why
awesome.
Cody was teaming with him on Dark and stuff like that, because he could see it. He's serious, bro. It was like wrestling college learning from them. Tony Deppen, another great fucking talent who slept on, who AEW's used, and I get it. He's one of these, like, I'm a worker guys, so it's hard. Like, you need that character and stuff, but and he'll get there. And I know he's doing good stuff, but for sure he's there training with Regal. This is a guy that for sure you can just tell by his work ethic and everything. Even all the times, so Deppen says, even all the times I did extra work at AEW, Regal always came up to me and talked. He'd give me advice whenever he got a chance, and whenever he had extra time, he'd pull all the extras around and had an impromptu Q&A. He cares about wrestling. That's the only thing he's guilty of. Shane Mercer says, few years back at an Evolve show Regal was at and was doing the exact same thing. He even took the time to talk to me for a good 20 minutes about things. Great advice and some stories as well. A genuine good dude. Imagine you're working at Evolve, all of a sudden fucking you hear WWE wants to get in tune with you guys and start working with you, and then all of a sudden you show up to a show and Regal's in the ring, geared up, fucking 2 hours early or whatever, you know, right? Just like, yeah, who wants to talk, bro? That's so legend, you know, that's so fucking legend.
And I mean, I bet you he remembers every single thing he said in that 20 minutes. Like, you know, and Regal was just being Regal, but that 20 minutes meant everything to that guy.
Man, so speaking of the Young Bucks, on detractors, they were talking about detractors of AEW who want the company to fail. So people have been predicting our demise since Hangman flipped his phone over and showed the world the AEW logo on that special BTE episode. See, I disagree, man. I think that people were behind them then. Even Eric Bischoff said everyone was backstage at SmackDown cheering on AEW. So
even Cornette was rooting for him, even though he knew he didn't agree to a job with Tony because he knew it wasn't going to work out. But if you listen to those shows back then, he's like, I want to be proven wrong. Please prove me wrong. I will happily eat an entire bucket of crow. Unfortunately,
me too. Because I was bought in at the beginning, and all this shit I'm talking.
want it to be
Well, no,
good.
they wanted to be proved wrong. I thought they were gonna prove everyone wrong. I did truly believe that. I was like, man, there's no way Tony fucks that up. We have all the history. I was like, dude, Tony Khan's like me, but he's born with $1 billion. Like, that's amazing. You know, that'll be insane. And no, it's not like that at all.
It's not like that at
Yeah,
one
no.
little bit.
But yeah, they say that people have been rooting against my brother and me specifically our entire lives, but I don't know if we'd know what to do with ourselves if we didn't have that chip on our shoulders, which is true. It's kind of all we know. I've learned, though, that you can keep proving the doubters wrong. They'll just continue to move the goalpost. It's a fool's errand if you think about no, your fucking fans move the goalpost. Like, we know, like, the real motherfuckers are going, look, it ain't there, you know? It's a fool's errand if you think you'll ever change their minds. That's true. So let it fuel you all you want. Let it inspire you. But don't think they're all of a sudden going to have the light bulb moment and admit they're wrong. So then are you admitting that you guys are basically just fucking TNA now? That's never going to happen. They'll find a new thing to claim against you. They'll continue to engagement farm. They'll continue to parrot silly nicknames from shock jock grifters. So I don't parrot the fucking nicknames. I'm not a shock jock either. That's a little bit before my time. I listen to old Howard Stern and Opie and Anthony and stuff, and I'm definitely not a grifter. Because all I'm doing is just reading y'all's dumb shit and laughing at it. So how's that a grift? I don't really. And I try and root for AEW. Hey, I get smacked around because of you defending you. Don't fucking come to me with that shit. So.
And what light bulb moment is he talking about? They haven't done anything right. Like, they still it's getting worse.
He's talking about everybody having that moment one day, just like, this is really great
because it's good, but it's not.
But it's
you
not,
want us to
exactly.
buy this crap?
That's what I talked about. I asked the chat that before. I was like, dude, if 2 million people, like Monday Night Raw is supposed to come on, all of a sudden fucking Tony Khan somehow just got dynamite in there and everybody was forced to watch it. Do you think 2 million people who watch SmackDown are going to stay for AEW every week after an episode? No, but I swear that's what they think. We have Scott Rizzo, who became a YouTube member.
Nice.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, man. And I feel like we chop it up in the chat or on Twitter, Scott Rizzo. So good to see you here, buddy. The Ashen Chevalier for $5 says, watching the Vince documentary, and every time I see Meltzer, I want to put my fist through my TV screen. Yeah, we talked about it earlier. It's like, bro, why the fuck
best guy is Tony Khan.
But no, I get why he is, but it's just funny how he's got all this shit to say. And I don't know, if I contacted him for an AEW documentary, do you think he'd hop on and talk? She fucking wouldn't for sure. But yeah, I don't know, man. Meltzer out of his league on that whole, even like compared to Bruce Pritchard and the other people involved. It's like, why is Meltzer here? It's so stupid, but I don't know. He's just lost so much credibility. Thank you so much for the super chat. I'm going to give you a And so the Bucks go, just win for yourself and let history speak for itself. Well, we are, dude. And
right.
Yeah, AEW took the L. With more unprecedented success comes even more noise. And it's not unprecedented success.
Yeah, and where's the success anywhere? We can literally see that every show, every time, like we were just talking about Grand Slam, they sold initially, what was it, like 19,000, then it was like 12, and then it was now it's 8.
Well, it's just cope, man. I mean, we know
it's
cope, man. We know what the fuck happened. Like when they took that victory lap, bro.
Oh,
that was
God.
the end of AEW. Like it was, some people say it was the end before, but that was for surely the end of AEW. Guys, I want to do one last thing before we get out of here with you all. Jake, are you down with that? You want to stick around for a Sicko segment?
Absolutely.
Okay, so here you go, the Sicko segment.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Guys, if we get rich
on the West
enough,
Coast,
if you guys super chat enough, and I get rich enough, I will pull a Tony Khan and get the actual music for the Down with the Sickness. Down with the Sickness. Let's go, dude. Open up your hate. I fucking love that shit. Anyways, let's get, or at least the Richard Cheese version we'll get. But
oh god,
either way,
I was working at a record store when Richard Cheese came out back in like 2000 to 2003. We used to play it all the time over the speakers in the store, and customers would be like, "What are we listening to?" Because all of a sudden you'd know the words, but it was Richard Cheese. That was the best.
Yeah. If you guys don't know what Richard Cheese is, he would
Look
sing
him
like
up.
ballroom versions of. So
He's a
he'd
lounge
sing
singer.
yeah, he'd be like, "Get up, come on, get down with the sickness, you fucker, get up, come on, get down with the sickness." Like, it's just really funny.
Piano, yeah, you see him with you could just see him with a leisure suit and no tie and like the bow tie, but open and around his neck, just sitting there with a cigarette, singing to your grandma.
So great. Funny. But yeah, here's the move. Will Ospreay tweeted out, "Oi, Young Bucks, pay this man at Leon Cage, bro." And it's like, okay, so they did this move. The Bucks did this move in the match tonight, except for one of them did a swanton on the guy's back, and then when he flipped up, the other one caught him and power bombed him. So I quote tweeted it and said LOL after one move. Here we go. Here is Rusev calling out the Sickos. Big Bad Miro.
This man, one day he's
he's calling out Dave Meltzer. And
yeah,
that, we'll get a Dave Meltzer dumb moment of the week, even though he's not involved.
Burning hell, like it's 100%. Like and it's okay. Like, hey, go Meltzer, go ahead, collect everybody's money, collect their $10, $20, whatever the hell you are, collect all their money. But let me tell you, once you die, most likely you're gonna go to hell because of all your lies.
Damn.
That you've managed to say every single day about pretty much everybody. This man,
damn dude, said Dave, you're going to hell in a cell. No, dude, Miro just said you're going to hell, bro. Meltzer, crazy.
That was good stuff.
Here's Sean Ross Sapp.
Oh god,
having a complete and utter meltdown. I guess he had a melty against Wrestling Soup or something. And so Sean Ross Sapp goes, this is to JD. Actually, oh my god, guys, I'm saving the JD Sapp stuff, and I'm going to tell you why. Because this Saturday, it's Husey. Hello, is coming back on the show. Husey is.
Oh, nice.
We're gonna bro down. It's gonna be hilarious, and we're gonna laugh at a bunch more Sickos and Meltzer stuff and all that. So, special guest reveal
with the dueling Tony Khan impersonations. I love that because you've got the you've got the Adderall Tony Khan, and he's got the whatever he takes to try to come down Tony Khan. It's perfect.
Yeah, dude, that's exactly it, man. Yeah,
the yin and yang of crazy Tony.
Yeah, man. So he's gonna come back on. We're gonna do all the JD because we triggered people. They saw a clip and everyone's like, "Oh." Like we dropped a clip and everyone saw it and they're like commenting like, "Oh man, they're better than all you guys. Like JD's better than you." And like, "So you guys are hating on Sapp." Like we got two audiences just hating on us, me and fucking Husey now. So we might read some of those comments too on the air. It's going to be a funny show. Because I don't think there's any PLEs or anything, and who gives a fuck about Collision? But anyways, though, El English Vato, he goes, "This is becoming slightly worrying. Our little buddy AR Gold Duck has the absolute worst obsession with Punk, a match that has absolutely nothing to do with Punk. He makes it about Punk. Punk derangement syndrome is real, guys." So Hangman, he goes, Hangman versus Jeff Jarrett in a first ever lumberjack strap match. Hangman is going to show Punk how you have a real strap match, and it won't be one where you touch the four corners. Except for, I think it will be where you touch the fucking you idiot. Jesus.
Dummy. Yeah.
So whatever, that guy's a duck and a fraud anyways. He doesn't really, he's just, it's fraud shit. Is Ibu glazing Tony? The answer is yes, before I even read this. So Ibu goes on to say, like I said a week ago on the Wrestle Purist channel, Tony Khan elected to not extend Ray Phoenix's contract with injury time, despite reserving the right to legally do so. Ray Phoenix busted his ass for AEW. He was never somebody that caused issues behind the scenes, was a day one guy, and was among the wrestlers that threw their hand up to work the Daily's Place tapings in the pandemic when it was optional. He also never requested a release. These things matter to Tony and are the same reason why Kip Sabian has a spot on TV. Oh, I'm glad that's why Tony books like that. You know what I mean? The fact that people automatically assumed he'd add that on and got pissed at him for it was stupid. Speaking of the injury time, Tony considered it and was kind of annoyed about the situation at first, but just elected not to. Okay, but now the conflicting reports are saying the opposite, that they're still under contract. So fucking Ibu is glazing, and he's also...
Liar! That's what he does. Those are his two. Those are the two things he does best.
So speaking of sickos, guys, we're gonna, just like we blow flutes, we did get a flute in, luckily, this show, because I was gonna save it for the next show. We're getting a bunch of those, mans. So at the Springfield, Massachusetts, MA, right? That's Massachusetts in America, right?
Yep.
Okay, there you go. AEW Springfield, Massachusetts incident. This is last week, I believe. So I was at AEW Collision in Springfield last night and saw a little incident I thought I'd share for both positive and negative reasons. I was sitting on the side. The camera was facing directly across from where this happened. During the 10-man tag at one point, Rush got his shirt ripped. He took it off and threw it into the crowd, and it landed right in front of this kid, probably 12 or 13, sitting cam side. A few people tried to grab it, but it ended up between the kid and some guy next to him. The guy and the kid tugged on it for us. Now hold on pause. Wait a minute. But they tugged on it for a second. Then the guy just ripped it away from the kid, almost knocking him over. The kid was upset, and the guy acted like nothing happened, despite the people around them seemingly giving him shit. The kid was really into the match before this and was visibly upset after. He sat down and looked pretty bummed out. If that was my kid, bro,
Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm like,
hands, bro.
That
Whoa.
kid must have had to probably be there with like Justin.
Bro, I'm like Vince Russo, bro. Castrating the marks, bro. No, but for real, that's like, dog. We're not even playing that shit. That's crazy. So, and this was okay. After 5 to 10 minutes, I saw a crew member go over to the kid and give him a hat. Someone else must have saw it happen and said something. The kid was really happy after, had his hat on with a big smile on his face. Then after Collision ended, someone let him sit in the front row for Rampage. So there was some positive in this whole situation. Good on whoever said something, and good on AEW for making it right. As for the guy who took the shirt, if you happen to be lurking here, you suck. Grown-ass man acting like, yeah, bro. This is complete. Come on, man.
Grown-ish ass man, kinda. Like grown man child. Like, let's, just be real. AEW
Someone on the
fans.
chat says, my son is 7. If someone did that to my kid, I don't need 40K to knock someone out. Yeah, about the wrestling soup and the sap thing, I guess. I don't know if I have it bookmarked. I was supposed to go on the show. I was supposed to be on that episode of Wrestling Soup, and then they decided to do their SRS rant stuff, and they're like, yeah, like, you don't need to be a part of any of that or whatever. But I guess, like, yeah, they challenged 40K or something for a fight. Listen, I'll fight anyone pretty much for 40K. I'll box them. I'll tickle fight them. I'll slap box them. I'll run them a foot race. We can work a match.
Power slap.
I'll power slap them. I'll fucking, what do you guys want to do? A jujitsu
What do you
match?
want to do?
I could use 40K right now. So
Right? Yeah, seriously, I'm in.
I don't know who's offering who to be. Yeah, I don't know who's throwing 40K up for who, but I'll fucking, don't tempt me with that shit, bro. Because that's like, come on now. That's crazy.
I'll make sure my insurance is up to date. We're good to go, man. Let's go.
Yeah, it's the fucking worst what's the worst that happens, bro? You know what I mean? I lose a match. Great. I got 40K. That's
right?
crazy,
I go viral for getting beat up. That's fine.
Yeah, well, that wouldn't happen either with me. I'm telling you that, but I don't know, man. But that's crazy. Like, I don't know, dude. Just whatever. I'm not even gonna touch on all that. I guess Wrestling Soup went in. He just told his bros, he's like, man, you guys don't even need to. He's like, I got it. It's like, all right. I don't even.
Yeah, no, I've heard about it. I haven't looked about too
yeah,
much.
it's you listen to the clip. Wrestling Soup.
Yeah.
Shout them out. Mish was on the last PWT pod, and
Cool.
yeah, he handled it like super cool and chill. But I don't know, him and Sap, I guess he told me they've been rivals for like a decade. I told him, I was like, I don't really go after him anymore. It's not where, like, I feel bad, you know. I literally feel bad if you're like that worried about Twitter and shit all the time. Like, I don't know, bro. You got to go for a walk.
Muted
or
the
something.
word "Fightful" and muted him completely, and just so like, and I'm pretty sure he's like either he or some of his minions have like responded to some of my tweets, but I can only see that there's a comment. But if I go and look at the community, I'm like, I don't want to see. I don't need to. I don't care. I really don't, which I think makes him even more mad. Just yelling. He wants me to read him, and I'm like, pass. I got better things to do with my time.
This guy said I just beat cancer. If you did that, dude, fucking air horn. And then someone else came in and said clips or it didn't happen. So if you're referring to the cancer, that's a hilarious comeback to that. But yeah, or if you're talking about Soup posted a clip, yeah, it's Wrestling Soup. If that's what you're sorry, dude, I'm reading the chat. You guys are going crazy in there. But No. Listen, everything's cool, but a poop on your head match, everything's cool. Don't worry, D. But listen, I will do it. Look, my name. I don't know what the Rabbit Wolverine.
The
LC
Rabbit
Killer
Wolverine.
17.
Yeah, good one.
He'll fight whoever, Wrestling Soup or Sap for 40K. So awesome. Thank you for the super chat. I'll give you a bro. But listen. Yeah, that situation aside, whatever, silliness. Shout out Wrestling Soup. Those are my guys. And yeah, I don't know. Elon's getting rid of apparently you can see other people's bookmarks. People are freaking out. I'm like, great, because I already show you guys my bookmarks. And then they're saying you can see people's like tweets if they have you blocked. So word, I get to see Fightful's hissy fits with JD, and I get to see Meltzer's shit, right from the source. Right. And I can't wait. It's all good. And I can read Fightful news again, because I'm blocked from the fucking hot news, even though it's like, come on, dude, the Fightful account, I don't even talk shit to that. I just bookmark it and talk about it.
Has it AEW been blocking people lately too? Like the actual like main AEW account too?
I saw they have blocked some people.
Some
I don't know if it's like a big thing. Let me look if I'm blocked by AEW. No, I'm not. See, typically these accounts that block a lot of people they typically are cool with me just because I do toe the line. I'm fence sit and fill.
Yeah, I feel like anybody who blocks you, it's probably because they saw like one clip and like in very like maybe an out of context joke or something that but if they actually like, give like even a 2-minute listen, you can see where you're coming from, and usually it's you're just calling it like you see it, cracking jokes, having fun.
That's what it's about, man. So the Prince Magus says, as one of the former biggest Miro fans who literally brought signs to shows about him, fuck Miro. Dude never once became a team player, and nothing of value is being lost. Miro has requested his release from AEW. Yeah, that's some bullshit, man. Fuck this guy, and shut out Miro, because he's amazing. And why?
Yeah,
why fuck him
so fast?
Yeah, so stupid, man. So
and it's just a report that he requested his release. Like, what if he didn't actually, and it was just reported wrong, and then all these fans still turn on him? Like, good Lord, they just want to immediately jump on him because they heard the story. I've seen plenty of posts on that. It's sad.
Sickos, I tell you,
literal.
Nathan Frazier owns some sickos.
Oh, this is good.
So I posted this, got some traction, obviously. Not a lot of likes and shit, though. I think people are maybe a little afraid to share this around, maybe in the WWE office. No, I'm just kidding, but I'm just too controversial, man. No. Anyways, though, this guy posts Ben Frazier or Nathan, whatever the fuck his name was in AEW. I think it was Ben Carter or Ben Frazier.
I was gonna say Carter. Yeah, it was. I think it was Carter.
So Nathan Frazier. Well, this guy posted and goes, wonder what happened to this guy. And then Nathan Frazier posted and goes, went on to fulfill his lifelong dream of signing with AEW, spent valuable time with his family during a worldwide pandemic, won the Heritage Cup, became a 2-time NXT Tag Team Champion, and formed one of the best teams in recent memory. He is doing just fine. Baked his ass, son.
On him with your success. There's nothing better.
MJF cooked a mark too. So this guy goes, and this shout out to me, because I always say the same thing. That bidding war thing was a flop, but he goes, Visionary Swerve goes, I like how the bidding war for 2024 was everyone but MJF. And then MJF goes, it's almost like MJF quietly signed a multi-million-dollar contract and AEW won something. Wild stuff. Also, sorry, original post got deleted. Think my finger slipped in between takes for the movie I'm shooting. Blow me. So just roasted that fucking Mark. This guy right here responds to Cardona's epic video that we played. When did we play it? Earlier in this show. And this guy, AEW Fans Latino America, goes, return to WWE for what? Have dignity, brother. Don't be another burden that returns to a company where at the time he never gave you the value you deserve. You look like Matt Hardy, who posts WWE videos all day to see if they call him. And this guy's still mad, this AEW Fans Latino whatever, because Matt Hardy roasted this guy publicly too and was like, bro, you make AEW and our fan base look bad. And this guy fucking no shame, still at it, man. And just talking shit to Cardona. What a scumbag. Shame. Flutes in that guy's replies. So here's AEW disciplinary committee, and God bless him for doing this. God bless him for doing this. I don't know how the fuck you can do this, man. Someone could go through my show and Chronicle, I'm sure, and come up with some stats because I cover everything. I think I cover the widest variety of wrestling shit, but damn, this dude like did the numbers here. So if he reviews this and it's legit, like he gives it to somebody who fucking would refute him and they fucking go, yeah, dude, this is actually legit numbers. This is like should be like Dis might have broke a fucking actual story here, but none of them will print it, obviously.
Of course not.
Except for maybe PWI because they look really good from it. But,
right.
They go, I went back and used various rumor roundup articles from 23 to 24, checking for accuracy after 6 months. These are the results. We'll provide more details after my findings later today. So he's in fucking Dexter's lab, dude, going in. I don't know. You see it there.
I mean, it makes it when you look at it, though. That tracks.
Yeah, Fightful's right about half the time. So just 50-50, like we say. It's just a flip of the coin.
Yep.
You look at F4W, they're fucking NA and he said too, he goes, I'm not going to read all. Oh, yeah. So he goes, PW Insider was bull. Still, here's the thing. They report far more because they know more. Fightful and them report all the time on TNA shit that some people say no one cares about that shit, but they do report on it, but they don't really have it in like that, So I don't know. It's whatever. All he said though is that wishy-washy articles got thrown out. So if they give every possible answer,
right,
then he doesn't count it. So
every possible answer and then end it with, but plans could change.
Exactly. And so that's why, Figure 4 is trash. And then you have PW Insider. That's pretty fucking accurate. If this stuff is true, though, this could be like this is subjective ruling. And then someone could come in and be like, well, no, like, if there's some sort of criteria, I don't know. I'm just trying to give both sides of it. But yeah, I'll trust his data on that one because he took the time to fucking do it.
Well, and just from what I've seen, that passes the smell test. That's what I would.
Yeah, it passes the smell test. It doesn't see. It's like, yeah, that looks about right.
Because as much as I make fun of SAP, they rarely will just report something as fact that isn't.
Yeah, or they just go like 50-50. Like he'll say both things, and then you're like, okay, so it's both things. You know what I mean? Or he'll say like, oh, it's not this, and then he'll go, or well, not even him, just Fightful. Then they'll go, oh, this is what it was. Here's all the details. Literally, JD just said that about him, and that's what started that whole war that went down. So I said the exact same thing about SAP back in the day. Like, like if you're wrong about something, then after you have all the details and we're like, but you were wrong about that thing. And then you get mad at people, I get why JD was saying that because like fucking I said the same shit and it's true. It's what happens, it's what has happened multiple times. So, and this guy's data, I'm sure backs that up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's how hard, just own your shit when you're wrong. It happens to all of us. No one's perfect, but they just immediately have to go into defense mode.
Especially if you're the news. Like if you're not the news, I don't care. I don't care if you're right or wrong,
Right.
If you're the fucking hot news, bro, you got to be like, dude, our hot news was cold. But Gabe Kidd goes, if you're a wrestler in a major company and you leak shit to the cheats you a bitch and an insecure one of that pussies. Damn, so that's crazy.
Simple as.
I mean, some people might take that shit. If there's a lot of wrestlers who do that. And Yeah, man, I don't know. That's a crazy wild shot to just be taken like that. Yeah, shout out Dijak. No, I'm just kidding. But it's all I'm just saying, bro. Like
No, it's pretty true.
it's pretty crazy how like less shit I feel like has been leaked out by WWE since someone pointed that out. I think like Smack Talk Hotel or something on Instagram, and I was like, dude, they're right, man. But anyways, though, Buddy Matthews is on. I put this in the sicko section. He's talking about Dom. Finally addresses Dom.
Would you go one-on-one with Dom? Dom wouldn't. It'd be one on half. The only way Dom would beat me is if I was a chicken tender and he was hungry.
That's pretty funny, dude. Let's see. What else do we got here? I got two more for you, okay? So Drainmaker believes Booker T is wrong. Main eventing the largest attended pro wrestling show ever is now being lost in the shuffle. So earlier we talked about Booker T, what he had to say about Adam Cole. And yeah, Drain Bamager, who's like the king of worst takes ever. So he's going to try and call out someone else's take. You're a fucking clown, dude. And so he says that, I guess all being lost in the shuffle is attending the greatest wrestling show of all time or whatever, or being in the main event, which say what you will about it, inflated ticket sales. It was a huge match, but I don't know.
That's all it was. It was a match. What was the story? Like in 10 years, people talk about the stories that lead up to the matches. It's rarely, they don't talk about the great match. Usually it's usually the story around the great match. Usually.
Exactly. And then another fabulous Booker T take. So he's hating on Booker. Dude, Booker has forgotten more than you'll ever know. But he goes, speaking on the Hall of Fame podcast, Booker T talked about how many AEW stars moving to WWE, including Ethan Page. We talked about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, this Drain Bamager is just fucking coping and seething. This guy goes... What is this a response to? This guy got cooked for going, WWE is reportedly in talks with the Weeknd's team to secure a performance at this year's WrestleMania in Las Vegas. So Weeknd is actually the fucking theme song again this year when everybody thought he wouldn't be. And then this guy goes, nah, we need Drake. And then everyone's like, no, we don't need Diddy Jr. in WrestleMania and stuff. No one needs that freaky ass motherfucker there and stuff. Oh my God. They just went hard. I thought that was funny.
Oh, it's funny. It's funny for a reason.
Bro. And then, Weeknd, not future Travis Scott or whoever they said was going to be for WrestleMania. So that's cool, man.
I mean, it makes sense, especially to have him perform live.
Yep. Especially after all this time. Like, and he's done how many themes for them? Like fucking do one live already.
Right.
But sorry, go ahead.
No, I said right. I was with you. I know 100%.
Yeah. So John Draper says wrestling discourse now is people who pretend to be journalists. I say it all the time. Activists, not they're hack fucking activists who can't make it in art because they're too activisty. So then they fall back on like hack writing jobs that anyone can apply for, make outrageous statements literally to elicit a negative response from others, then get negative responses. Then they tell everyone that those people are horrible and gaslight everyone into thinking it's journalism. That's exactly it. John Draper's alleged. And Miss Kate Fabe goes, I didn't know shit about HBK or Bret Hart when I started watching wrestling. I was intellectually curious and YouTube existed. I promise she never even watched their Iron Man match. She goes, no. Danielson versus McGuinness has been building for 20 years. And that's what they did with it, Miss Kate Fabe. Are you going to defend that Dynamite atrocity tonight? And no, it's not been building. One guy's been retired for a bunch of years, dude. And Nigel has been trying to tell y'all on commentary since he got the job. Yeah, because he knows that the Mark doctors are going to clear him in this fucked up company, dude. You can just Google it if you aren't up to speed. Just Google it. And you fucking, like Google what? Like if you aren't up to speed on this, you mean you just watched the timeline on AEW's YouTube they dropped and you're talking down to people? That's why people fucking hate you motherfuckers, man.
Yeah, well, with what Draper is saying, she is literally the definition of it. She is one of the worst. She's come after me a couple of different times on different takes that I've had on things. It's just completely gaslighting and just a total bitch. I hate that woman. I don't hate her. It's just she's just so terrible. Like she's totally pretentious and talks down to people, and you can see why she's a big fan of, or why she works for Sean.
And so this guy, Skytel Wrestling, goes, what a bizarre episode of Pollock and Thurston. Both Brandons spent the whole time dumping on the rumored deal. Brandon Ross spent his time trying to diminish the value of AEW. Oh, it's so bizarre speaking objectively and true. And when our shows start telling the truth, it's so bizarre. Oh, my fucking short circuiting. Brandon Ross, AEW isn't sports and has no value. True. WWE is very popular. AEW isn't needed anymore. True, but I would say it is needed because I like if, okay, a legend can disappear off WWE. Now, they're breaking their tibias and shit, so I don't like that. They're hurting their legacies and shit, but if they can just go there, stay quiet, collect a check, go back to WWE, I'm okay with that. 170 million a year is way too high. Agreed. WBD isn't strong. It literally isn't. So
right, they just lost $9 billion overnight the other week.
And Thurston says AEW isn't valuable anymore as popularity isn't rising. And that's just how the fucking world works. And then the last one here, speaking of Sap, Internet Tough Guy shares his opinion. Sap says, but this is actually a rare W take from Sap because it is kind of ironic how Vince spent all of this time controlling the narrative and changing history of WWE to now be like, I don't like the history they're portraying in this documentary. But Sean Ross Sapp says, guy who released dozens of documentaries rewriting history is complaining that people are distorting perception. So, pardon me, rare SRS fucking W. And I'm a sicko. I made my own sicko segment. And yeah, that's what it was right there. I will give an ooh-ah-ah-ah. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for hanging out with us over 3 hours. Alt Jake, thank you for being here. Let the
anytime, man. That's so much fun. It's funny. You
just what?
I was thinking this is so much fun. I was looking at the clock like 5 minutes ago, and I was like, have we really been on that long? Like, man, it does not feel like that. You just kind of get going, and it's a good time.
Yeah, bro. Well, I appreciate that. You're welcome back on whenever. And yeah, this for Bad Blood. So this Saturday, guys, Husey Hello's on. If you guys don't know, I go live every Wednesday, every Saturday. Husey Hello's coming on Saturday. We're going to roast the IWC. Alt Jake will be on the Saturday after for Bad Blood. Make sure you tune into the Wednesday shows. Next week is the 5-year anniversary. I might go solo. I don't know. Maybe Jake can just, I like hanging with you, Jake. So maybe,
it's a lot of fun, man.
Or whatever. And yeah. And what else do I got to plug? So guys, I have these new scripted contents that are like, I don't want to stooge off what it is, but one's going to drop soon. It'll be on Patreon first. So snoop it out over there. And once it comes out, I'll dive deeper on the show about like what I'm doing and what the purpose is and everything. But yeah, it's different for this channel, but it's not so you guys will enjoy it too. Like if you're diehards of this channel, you'll be like, fuck yeah, Phil doing the damn thing. And then I also have like these Vince McMahon review episode doc things, documentary little mini docs that I'm doing, documenting the documentation of the Vince stuff that I'm doing. So it's like a review, but kind of just live thoughts. Those are dropping as well throughout the week. And yeah, thanks so much for tuning in, man. I appreciate you all. Plinian came through, I think, earlier with a $200 super chat. What the fuck was that? Yeah, so just appreciate you all, chat. You guys have been amazing. You already know. Members, stay locked in. I'm going to do a member show this week. I'm going to make sure I do one a week. And I'm also going to fucking, maybe not this week, but next week, guys. But either way, I'm doing one. I know. And I'm going to start like live streaming just like every day. So, and it's not going to be PWT live show. I'm just going to hop on and do some like quick reactions to shits like 30 minutes, an hour, 45, whatever, right? I'm just going to hop on live. If something's breaking, I'm going to try and be more relevant with it and everything. So yeah, appreciate you all. Love you all. Alt Jake, you're the fucking man. And yeah, here is Chris Jericho to sing us a little something on the way out. Peace. See you in the Upside Down.
I look and see it's not just me.
Jeff, why do you insist doing this dumb internet shit on TV?
I look and see it's not just me.
This place is a fucking joke, man. You're a clown. I quit.
So many of us have stood where I stand. We are young, so raise your hand. So many of us have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. They call us problem child. We spent our lives so on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're 1 and 1 for all. The writing's on. We are the youth gone wild.
No. It doesn't make logical sense, but it makes.
Well, yes, of course.
But it makes wrestling booking sense. Of course, this makes no sense. Of course, okay, it makes no sense. However, in pro wrestling booking, which often makes no sense, you would do that. It's about making money. It's not about anything else. Wrestling has always been about making money first and foremost. That's it.
I look and see it's not just me.
Last weekend was the greatest weekend in AEW history. This is the greatest week.
I look and see it's not just me.
Security, my safety, my life was in danger at a wrestling show.
So many of us have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. So many of us have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. We call this problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand, we won't fall. We're 1 and 1 for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild. We call this problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand, we won't fall. We're 1 and 1 for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild. Get wild. Yeah.
If you're familiar with how we do things often here on these Wednesdays, it's a lot like one of my favorite movies, Time Cop.
What? Fuck you. Fuck you.
Yeah.
No! Damn God, damn it!
Yeah.
No! Damn God, damn it!
Ladies and gentlemen, shit's about to hit the fan.
The system is broken. It was time for a revolution. We could be the wrestlers that we want to be.
We have our own stories. We make our own characters.
Different. That's what makes us elite.
I've been forced to vacate the AEW World Trios Championship.
Khan created a revolution.
Show days, super chaotic. A lot of times we get here and we don't know what we're doing till hours, minutes before we go out there.
There literally are, I think some weeks, 100 talents running around backstage.
At that point, it caught Tony Khan's ear, and he started thinking, maybe I want to do this. Let's get together. And I guess the rest is history, right?
We're just getting started, but it's a great fight to start a great night.
Orange Cassidy in serious trouble.
This will be fun, right? I'm excited. Ready to go? Go to break.
Figured out what works as a heel in the ring for me.
Austin wants to be here so bad.
Is it a break spot? Not yet.
We need to build an army right now.
It was good. That's a good match.
You thought everything looked okay?
Yeah. I hope it was good. I just feel like...
You tonight.
That was big.
No! Damn shot! Damn it! We've seen this time and time again out of Jericho and Guevara.
That's awesome. That was great. Ah! Yes! Sick!
He's going to tell it! And Claudio Castagnoli.
Is that heavy, Tony? No. I gave you extra time. 6 to break for right now. Go. They're really flying through. Hey! That was great. That was perfect.
1, 2, 3!
Are you okay? That was great. Way to get him up at the end. You got him back. That was great. Pick him up. That was a great finish. Oh, yeah. Going into the card rundown. We'll feel out the ending, and then we'll go into the card rundown bumpers.
With Ty Mello, Dr. Ty and Anna, and Will Nightingale taking Britt Baker with Sky in her sights, and now Sky Blue goes down. My catcher. The team match right there. JD Hater coming up right now. The Elite versus Death Triangle.
The sooner you get to the Death Triangle, the better, man.
Good. All right, the Bucks are attacking. Oh, this.
We're good. We got a minute or so. We want to get him going. Get him off this.
Moxley charging right back at Hangman. Now,
I like this.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone hit with an elbow like that. Oh, modern day pro wrestling. Danielson!
We're doing good. We're doing good on time. This is good. Hey, hometown hero. Way to go. Welcome back. Yeah, it's great.
Welcome back.
Love it.
Welcome back.
Hey, welcome back. You okay?
Oh, I'm great.